Got it going live because it usually takes a couple seconds.
Trying to come off the board. Ryan, we have some stuff that on the floor. I didn't realize the whole floor. I had no idea. Long head. Is that comfy?
So here he. Maybe that could see the thing. Yeah, take one of yours. No.
One big one, one small one.
The one packet's only 3 pages.
So.
Do you have a 3-pager too? The little one? Nice. Okay. That makes sense. So I'm gonna see, I don't have 3.
Okay, the audio's working, so it's good.
Seth, were you able to add that email to the packet?
Oh, the one with, no, I didn't, because I didn't thought you, because I thought you didn't want that on there.
Oh, yeah. We can talk about it.
Oh,
Last it for a little bit.
We'll make an amendment to change. We just want to print it real quick.
Well, actually, I can't.
give me 2 seconds.
Amend it, change on it. What do you want it to be called?
The map repairs on Main. Like sealed cracks.
Sorry about this.
Yeah, we can wait another month. So, just- You won't have a choice.
Well, we can get the, since it's on the council level, we'll have to approve it next week, so I mean, stuff like that.
Sounds
Do
good.
you still want me to print it then, or?
Yeah, you can. Okay, call the meeting to order. Roll call.
Trevor Bundy?
Here.
Chaz Foster?
Here.
Riley Amundson?
Here.
Colby Jensen's not here. Julia Lyon?
Here.
Joel Holscher?
Present.
Diane Neschheim?
We'll skip public time and go to approval of minutes.
I have one change. I think we can just word this better.
Okay.
Where the discussion of the bus route for the children, for the pool, what we're presenting. So as it reads right now, it says, Bundy presented a plan to set up a bus route to transport residents of Crooks children to the Colton pool 3 days a week. I would like to reword that. I'd like to mention a partnership. So if we could say something along the lines of, Mayor Bundy presented a plan to partner with the city of Crooks to offer a program that allows a shuttle service to the children to the city of Colton pool, or something along those lines.
Okay.
I think it just reads a little bit better. And then it also discusses that we're in a partnership with Crooks, that it's not just a Colton driven initiative.
Mhm.
And we're not claiming the children of Crooks. They're not Crooks's children. Crooks's residents of Crooks's children. Seth, I know.
Got it.
One of these times you're gonna wish I just didn't come to the meeting.
No, I just gotta switch, I had the word crooks. I need to, that word changed, so.
You put a comma right there. It doesn't
Where was it?
need to. Right after the 72136.
Okay, yep. Thanks, Joe. I'll get that changed, Riley, so it flows a little better and
The only other thing, and again, it's just a nitpicky, a dollar sign in front of the Minnehaha County Sheriff's payout,
Yep.
just to keep it. I would make a motion with those changes suggested.
Motion from Riley. Second, and more discussion.
I'll second.
All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All those approved, same sign. Okay. Move on. Motion to adjourn for old business.
I'll make a motion.
Motion from Julie.
A second.
Second from Riley. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign.
No, we're going.
Okay.
You ready, Seth? Okay. All meetings to order. Roll call.
Trevor Bundy.
Here.
Chaz Foster.
Here.
Riley Amundson.
Here.
Matt Watnick.
Here.
Julie Lyon.
Here.
Joel Holscher.
Present?
Diane Nisham.
Going to move on. Let's do oath of office real quick. So Matt Wallneck, Julie Lyon, and Charles Foster. You can all do them at the same time, or you can do them all by yourself.
You'll find it in here. Just hand it to you.
You're too far back.
It's right after claims.
Mm.
And each one's for each year.
Want to read them
Want to
aloud?
do them together?
Okay, you want to do them together?
That's fine.
You do it loud then.
I, Charles Foster, have been appointed as alderman for Ward 1 within for the city of Colton, Minnehaha County, South Dakota,
South Dakota.
and do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
Constitution of the state of South Dakota,
and the ordinances and resolutions of the city of Colton,
and that I
and will faithfully and impartially, to the best of my knowledge and ability, perform all duties as provided by law.
We're a little bit behind on that one.
Yep.
There you go. Well, welcome, Matt.
Make sure to
You guys are stuck for another 3 years. So.
your turn to start signing now, Trevor.
What's that?
You gotta sign all those.
Fine. Okay, we'll go to public time. Colton Country Day, or Community Connected, sorry.
That's all right. We're just coming in to check in, like you said we would. Everybody's got kind of a schedule, that's our tentative schedule thus far. We've got a meeting after this meeting, and we're gonna just kind of get things completed up, and it's probably gonna go live beginning in June or somewhere around there. If you guys have any issues with it, let us know now, if you would. So that's kind of where we're at. And I had this one at the last meeting. I don't know if everybody happened to see it. Some of you weren't here, so we haven't made any changes if you read it since the last meeting. And really, there hasn't been a whole lot of changes in the last few years. We've just pretty much copied and pasted and changed a couple of words around. And as you guys know, we did, our president did retire. So we are still looking to fill some space. We're not necessarily for president, but we're kind of like dividing and conquering between this 6 or 7 of us left to try and cover everything that she did. So we do have some questions on a few things on how she did it. Because her notes, she left great notes, wonderful notes. But the previous years, her notes read that like our peddler's license for the food vendors. And then we also have on Saturday afternoon, we have like that event, the vendor fair in the park event, where we let people come in and sell their crafts or like Mary Kay Lady or whatever. And then, so what we've done in previous years, my understanding is they charge us like $50 with federal places, and that covered our food vendors and the craft vendors that we bring in.
Yeah.
Do you guys want to do that again, or do you want to
Yeah,
do
'cause
something
that's
different?
what, it went under you guys.
Correct,
So
yes,
you
we
do the
just
budget,
came in, we filled it out, we wrote down that we would have, food trucks. Sometimes we don't even know until like 2 days before, who's all coming. I mean, thus far, we've got Pampered Chef, Tupperware, a few of those type of things.
Sure.
But we get more as the time comes along. So for whatever reason, that happened a few years back, and we just, if you guys are okay with that, we'd like to request that we can get that from you again.
Stay with that. So,
Just let us know whatever you guys decide. And then I do have 3 banners coming again, like we order every year to put around the outskirts of town. For the dates, do you want me just to give those to Pete again, or, okay, thank you, Pete, you're so appreciated. And I did talk with Sign Design about the sponsorship sign that I've talked about a few times about our sponsors. For those, just to give you a rundown, every year we kind of have this cluster of, okay, are we gonna have banners? Are we gonna put signs out? What are we gonna do? Because these people are giving us these big checks. And we're kind of, we're moving on into the area where we'd like to just have something maybe permanent down at the park. I know Trevor's kind of talked to us a little bit, one-on-one, and kind of the plan, if you guys are okay with it, discuss it, let us know what you think. We'd like to have something that we could just have year round, that we could have Sign Design make. It doesn't have to be anything massive, but then those people that qualify, the ones that are giving us $500 plus, have their business logo, have it go on the sign, and then every year we would update it, but then they would stay there throughout the year. And it could just simply say something about, 2023 Colton Country Days sponsors, things like that. And we'd take care of it. It falls to us. We just want to make sure that it'd be something you guys would be okay with, where you would want it placed if you did decide it was okay, and the size of the sign. Obviously we don't want anything massive, but obviously we want something to show our appreciation to those businesses that really support us and our town. So that's another question that we'll ask you guys to make. And then with the last time we were here, we had a discussion that was left open-ended on event insurance, whether we were going to go like piggyback off the cities again, if that works. Certain things like the inflatables, Heather's already got
I got
insurance for it. If we can get personal insurance for it, we've already done that.
yeah, you'll still be blanketed under the city.
So we'll be able to blanket
Seth
under
called
them.
them, talked to them today.
Yep, it's now since it's endorsed now, it's already covered every year. It's just it's added into our plan for
As
insurance.
long as you guys don't make
Any
changes.
major changes, yeah.
Yeah, no, I don't think we haven't even added anything this year, have we? We are meeting with somebody at our next meeting that's going to have a suggestion for an event, but
I just remember last year talking to them, they just said get the insurance for the inflatables through the inflatable companies.
And I did
'cause
that already.
It's cheaper.
yep, definitely. And most stuff like that, the stuff that we're hiring done anyway, we do have that. So, yeah, we're just trying to keep everything pretty well streamlined.
Are we doing free swim again on Sunday?
No,
No, I brought that up at the end of the year last year. We only, the year prior to that, we got $16. Last year, it was $32. So it's just really not a lot that comes into for the pool.
Okay.
Because it was a donation.
Yeah.
So me having to run around and collect that money and do all that, it's more of a headache and.
Okay. So, yeah, I just noticed it wasn't on Sundays.
I know we discussed it. Remind me again. Janae just reminded me too. I probably have it on previous notes, but it's been a crazy couple of weeks. Porta potties. I know we discussed it. I get mine for behind TJ's. What did we decide? We did. Now, the last few years, I ended up calling them. Do you want me to do that again? You want to give them a call? Okay. Sounds good. And then let them they usually have mine on there first, then I usually call you to say.
Last year we put 2 out there, 1 here, and then 2 more at the park.
Okay.
I remember.
And we're still gonna use the A1. Sounds good. Thank you very much for taking care of that. That's all we've got. Do
Okay.
you guys have any questions for us or anything?
Oh, we can go back to your sign.
Okay.
You have a specific location that you guys had in mind, and we meet in the middle?
Honestly, haven't even really had a chance to discuss it. I mean, other than just talking about this is what we'd like to do.
Well, I kind of talked to you about that too.
Yeah,
think
you and
that-
I kind of discussed it. do you have an area? I
think
mean, it's not our,
I
it's
think-
not our park. I mean, it's the city's park.
Well, I think
so-
if we make obviously you don't want like metal posts. I mean, if we make
Right.
like a nice cedar post in the
Put it
deal.
on the, like, pool fence or something existing, you don't have to mow around it.
Yeah, that's,
Good thinking.
would you guys be good with something on the pool, or would you want somewhere else more of a?
That would be fine too.
I'm open to any.
It's just honestly.
Are you guys
we've got
thinking of wanting
everybody's
to do it
logos.
this
It's just
year?
easier than hunting down banners.
You do want to do it this year?
I'd like to, yeah, and find them and said that they could probably get it taken care of, so they could get it made and figure out how to get it taken care of. The boys can probably help with that too.
They're gonna make it to where you get change from like
Yeah.
2023 to 2024.
Yes.
Okay.
So how big do you think you want every individual sponsor? Like a 12 by 18?
Normally, I would ask my friend Trevor that question.
Well, I'm just, the ones that we're looking at doing on the side of the bleachers are gonna be like a 12 by 18. So you're looking probably like that.
For the logo.
Yeah.
And if you guys would allow that kind of a space for us. on the north
How
side of the
many
pool.
Sponsors.
How many sponsors
We're
are you
still
looking
bringing
at?
them in right now
Right
this
now I
year.
have like 8.
Yeah, and that was from our preliminary mailing that we did in
Mm-hmm.
February. So we'll be doing another mailing. How many did we have total last year? Do you remember?
I have to
So trying to think,
12.
Pete, would you be good if, let's put it more or less.
Pete, do you know
Make
what
a sign
size
for
that
15
baseball one is
sponsors?
That I have on the concession stand.
4x8 or
I
something.
think that's a 4 by 8.
Would you guys be, I know you can't see, but more or less on the fence, if you guys did like cedar posts that would get it above the fence, put it right next to the fence, the baseball fence, you did like a wood one, then you could do both sides and back, and you wouldn't have to mow around it. Kind of almost by the gate entrance when you come in from the pool. You know what I'm talking about?
Like where we have the sponsorship banners.
Kind of by,
last year,
well,
but in that area.
it sounds bad, kind of where the dumpsters are sitting right now.
At the edge of the fence.
No, I'm not saying, you know what I meant.
No,
though.
I get it.
I think
In general
that's
area.
a good high visible area.
It is, it's gonna be kind of tacky right there. I think it's just out in the middle, out in the open like that.
We put it up against the fence.
It can be better on a fence or on a building, not just out.
What about like on the bathhouse, like mine?
I just think if you put a couple posts in and throw a big sign up and there's nothing around it, it's just gonna be like
Like it's just
I don't
out
wanna
there.
call it an
Right.
eyesore, but like it doesn't belong there.
Right.
You know?
Agreed. Yep, agreed.
Maybe we can do a walkthrough up there one of these days, so.
Yeah.
You,
I
you
think
want,
putting it on the bathhouse might be a good consideration too, even just for weather elements.
you guys are, I mean, if you guys are good with that too, that's up to you. Let's do
It's
it.
like
You know, and
the
we've got
smaller windows
time.
on the concession.
Cause it's not something that, you know, they're gonna have,
There's a
they're not gonna
baseball
have it
on the
ready
concession
until the
stand.
beginning of July, you know.
Maybe we should just do like Trevor said, just go up there and actually look at everything.
Do a walkthrough.
This is the
It's
spot
side
right here.
here.
We'll get Pete where he doesn't want to mow around it.
Oh, wow.
Somewhere where it's not gonna get blown down during another ratio.
Trevor, what did you suggest for like the size of the logo to get?
Probably like a 12 by 18.
Like a 12 by 18.
So
I just want-
Set it up for what, 15 sponsors for size wise?
probably square wise.
I'll double check and count how many we had and we'll know at the meeting whether it's something that, you know, like the bigger logos, and then if we just put smaller, just their written name of the business, you know, because I don't know, we kind of like everybody, even if they only give us
So you're gonna have some
200
kind of
bucks
a,
and we still want to put their name up there.
you're gonna have some kind of design on top of it, like your Country Day logo. And
It won't be a design. I could see it being more of a Country Days sponsors, and then maybe they'll have it to where they can just change the year.
Yeah, I'm guessing that your country day or community connected or however you guys have it be more permanent and then.
Right. Yeah, and then we'll just make it so we can change the year, so that every year then too, if we have different people or they want to go up higher, so maybe they can get a bigger spot.
Okay.
You know, we can have them pulled out, we'll switch them in and out.
Are you thinking about having empty spaces to add to it, or will it that be?
Empty spaces to add to
Okay.
it, so it's something that we can grow upon.
Okay,
Maybe look, then you can always have a sponsor see an empty spot and say, oh, I'll fill that spot.
Hey, look, we got room.
Okay. Guys have anything else for community connected?
Do you have an extra agenda by chance?
I have one over there, but
Oh.
yeah, let me and print you one.
You want the whole packet or just these?
Of course,
I-
you want the whole packet, but
I
if
know-
it's in it, I don't want to, if you can just scan it through, let it print out without disrupting.
It'll go for a while because it's a thick one, but I can.
Kill a lot of trees.
My house will burn for days without paper.
You guys got anything else then?
Yeah, that's all we've got, and that, let us know what you guys decide on the peddler's license, if that'll work again, and I think that was it, and then I'll talk to you throughout the month about the signs and stuff like that, and then maybe come back to next week if we can.
We'll just, take a day, send out a message to you guys and then Pete, and then we'll figure out an afternoon to walk down there.
That sounds good, that sounds great. Right now, thank
Are
you.
you guys good with them just doing a peddler license for?
Thank you very much, guys, we really, it makes it, paperwork for us a lot easier too.
I like the new renovated schedule, or the new design of the schedule.
Thank you. Yeah.
We do too.
We try
Yeah.
to make, and we'll have some of them color too, that was just my crappy printer from home, so.
Agenda.
Had about 10 minutes before I left. So yeah, so no, we're good.
We'll move on. The fire department?
Yeah, so you're here next work, so I'll be there as soon as I can.
Thanks for coming.
Thank you.
thanks, guys.
On the fire department side, it's kind of, it was a good quiet month. Any month we have that's quiet. It's a good month. We had 4 EMS calls, 1 EMS training. On the fire side, we had 2 fire calls, 2 training, and then we had 2 PR events. We did the safety house. We had a couple members stay down. They did the safety house and safety house on Saturday, and then we served the lunch up for the fallen firefighter up in Chester. Fire mom.
You guys already do one of them safety meetings?
Safety meetings.
And you guys are gonna get, you and I are gonna get together?
Yeah. It's still council.
Yeah.
We need to.
That's just how the sheriff codes them, so they used to give us a greater report on what they would do when they were there,
If you
but
have
now they don't,
campers,
it just goes to a
someone
coloring
to go up there
system.
and notify them, you know.
We had talked about at one point having. them
Where's the storm
about
shelter?
what
We're
that
in the
means.
shelter.
Brings the question on
I
the.
could
And
probably-
they just do something identified for their shift.
Yeah, I say probably their shift thing.
That's why we just did it.
The last thing
We
you're
used to
gonna
get
want
more
is
information on it.
all them parents calling this phone number.
Oh, yeah.
No.
Are you yellow? You just be like, I'm feeling you work yellow night or yellow days. You'd be like, what? I like this one here,
Yeah.
45 minutes.
Put them either in the math house.
Yeah, used to be
Not a
like
bunker,
ours.
but it's concrete walls.
Air national grid?
Well, like I said, I mean, I know sooner whether it pops up.
Matt, what's your
last
cell
minute
phone number?
sometimes too, but if we
605
even have, like, a chance of
759
it, we're not gonna have that
48
route go,
97.
you know. There's just I'm not gonna think of this, cause anybody else here.
10 hours,
You know,
so
I'm
we
not
didn't
around,
spend
so
10 hours.
there's no sense wasting the money.
Maybe
and
for the whole month.
then anybody either, so.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
we look at
Yeah,
the
here's 6
fall.
hours.
Yeah.
It is.
I have hardly seen
You're gonna
it.
get, you're gonna get your one.
I haven't.
I see a lot of
Hardly ever. Of course, I don't. I'm in my basement, so I don't see anything.
Yeah. So,
That's all we got for the fire, unless, anyone else has any questions. or anything.
Sit in my basement. for 2 hours.
any question for the fire department?
Did we have any questions, Trevor? Did we have any questions about the medical bag for up at the pool, or do you?
I kinda talked about it.
Okay.
So.
We're both
Then do we?
licensed too. Malt beverage license, we didn't do anything.
Oh, Monty, you wanna stick around for that part? Monty? Ramby,
He's like, I'm already here.
did you wanna stick around for that malt beverage one, or do you need to be here? Or it might be good?
I'll stick around.
Okay.
Or-
Yeah. Okay, yeah, okay, so Monty's. Alright, thanks.
That one got copied.
Yeah, yeah, just, oh, yeah. Okay, go sheriff's report. Not too much fire again.
No, Matt did bring up a question though, you know, at one time, like when I first came on here, we're gonna have him come out and explain this blue schedule, yellow schedule.
Yep. We want him to come out.
I don't know, what do you guys think? I mean, me, I really don't personally care, but.
Well, we can come, I can give him a call.
Well, just, I mean, even finding out what it means.
Yeah, I don't think they.
Well, I think we need to have a talk with our patrol times too. I'll get that updated. I don't think we need patrol time in Colton on Sunday after church. So that's just mine. So I got the sheriff's number. We can I'll give him a call and see if we can have someone come up there and just, they've came up to a meeting before, so. And can ask any questions we want. Okay. We'll move on, go Parks and Rec. You ready, Seth? So,
Yeah, I'm good.
okay. You want to give the update for the sponsorship?
So for the, we've got in a total of 16 sponsors for the baseball field so far. We've got 7 who are for the diamond, 2 for the gold, 5 for the silver, and 2 for the bronze.
Total and all, or
No, I didn't write it. I
Okay.
didn't get it. Here. Give me 2 seconds and I can get you a total for it.
and we did send here, was it last week?
Yep.
We sent the second batch out as just kind of a reminder. So I actually had one person reach out to me and said they accidentally
72.
threw it away, so they wanted to be a part of it. They just didn't have the packet anymore, so sent it back out.
$14,750. We're still waiting on a couple because I haven't got CHSs yet. And
For the,
for the spot, I got an email about from
14,750.
about a purchase order for that. So
oh, okay.
yep,
This is just what we actually truly have, the hard checks.
yep.
Yeah.
This is money that I've cashed. So
Okay.
You're in-
Did Jen get you the logo?
I haven't gotten any. Yes,
Jennifer Johnson?
Joe,
I think I did.
they reached out to me that they won't, because we're not a 501c3.
Really?
Yeah.
All right.
Because I told them, I'm like, she's like, well, you 501c3? I say, no, in the municipality. I said, you get your write-off as a advertisement.
Mhm.
She's like, well, when you guys get your 501c3, let us know, we'll do it. I'm like, okay.
We're not gonna get one, right?
No,
No.
the municipality can't get one, so.
Still a marketing waste. expense.
No big deal.
So then does that money
Yeah,
go
yeah.
into a separate
Okay,
account?
once we get
It
that.
goes into
Into the park.
They'll just
In
stay
the
in park,
parks.
Yep.
park and rec, so
Yep.
Okay.
that's all that money's for. It won't be for anything else. Okay, any other questions on?
Then do you know for what it's gonna, for material wise, per sign that we gotta pay?
Yeah, so the first year, every large sign's $175. So put it off the diamond, the top level will make $950 there, each one. So.
Okay.
So if they sign back up next year, then we just gotta do our part, take care of them signage. So. And Pete purchased some clips, so they're easy to come on and off, so he's not wire tying everything up, so. It'll be nice to take down, so we'll take them down during the winter time, so they don't get ruined. Okay, move on, swimming lessons.
Can I do baseball?
Oh, yeah, that's cool.
I sent you guys the schedule. We have 23 teams this year. High school's just wrapping up. I think we have 2 games left on that big field, and then we'll move in. So I have 30 games scheduled just on that big field this year. So that's pretty good.
Will be really good.
Is that a big jump from last year?
I think last year, well, the whole park, I think we hosted, and that's with tournaments, 96 games.
Oh,
So,
so that's huge then.
so that's just the one field.
Yeah, so then,
Heather, on them small fields, you know when they're gonna start playing on them?
yes, I have. the
It
whole-
just said Monday and through Thursday.
Yeah,
but
it's,
there wasn't like
they
a
start in 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
6U will start like the 23rd. So starting next Monday is when 10U and 12U will start.
Okay.
So the 10U is up on Monday, Wednesdays on those fields. And then the following week, that's when all of them will be going. So Monday through Thursday, all those little fields will be used. There's some that, that west field will have double headers on. I have a coach pitch, and then we'll do a 10U after that. And then that'll be for the whole month of June, all the way to the end of June. So those little fields will be occupied, and then 23 games up on that big field between Legion and, because I added the Legion schedule on there for you guys.
Yeah.
I don't know if John usually sends that or not. Yeah, so we have 2 16U teams and 2 14U teams this year.
So small fields go through the end of June.
End of June.
They don't go into July.
Nope, so that 10U tournament at the end of June going into July will be the end of it. Yep. But then the teeners will go till mid-June or mid-July. So, yeah, and then I'll let you know about that fence.
I think last year we just did like half the distance from the infield to the back fence. I don't know.
Yeah, we'll have to just look at it because we don't want it to be too far up. It's just more to keep those balls from going because we'll usually put the bronze in 10U. So, you know, we got
If I
this.
remember right, I just measured from the agri line to the fence and just cut it in half.
Yeah, yep. It's more just to keep the balls more in a playing area for those little guys. And then I sent an email to, normally we do gate at our tournaments, but with it being in Colton, it's very hard to do gate because there's so many ways to get to all those fields. So you guys do the concession stand, which I appreciate, thank you. Just wondering if you would allow us to do the concession stand that weekend. That's the only way we will make money during that tournament. So I mean, I know it's a headache taking your stuff out, letting us go in for 2
Well,
days.
All our stuff out.
We kind of thought about that, so I think we'll just tell Amber to, when it gets to that week, go late on not restocking. And then whatever we have, we'll move to the pool concession.
All up to the pool and then they move their stuff in.
So,
You'll still have some teener games after that, but if we could just use it for the 2 days, just make a little bit of money that weekend for us.
you guys have any issues with that? Using the concession stand for that day? We won't staff it, so.
No, we take care of all that.
It brings me to another note. I had an issue arise with our concession. Going forward now, we're just gonna have just employees or council members in the concessions. So we've had a couple people that haven't been employees in the concessions. So when there's money and inventory and all that and our equipment and everything in there, I think we just keep it that way unless council or I or Pete approves them being in there. Just remove just our employees.
I will let the Tri-Valley Baseball Board know that.
Probably the way it should have been all along.
Yeah.
Well, if they're announcing too, the announcers. are gonna have to be in
Yeah.
there, whoever that
I don't have anybody this year announcing anything. I don't know if John will for Legion, but
We can
unless
nominate
you wanna
Pete.
do it.
We'll make Pete do it.
You want me announcing, Ray Sharp, that comment.
Well, I think I've heard worse on the field. So
I'm not
that's
the
all
newest
I
one
have.
here anymore. I don't get
I'll
to
keep
get
you
picked on.
posted if there's any changes to games or cancellations. I do have one game I will be adding to the schedule, so I'll put you at 31 games.
More the better.
Okay, that's all I got.
Hopefully, we got a time frame here, shortly on them lights. We're hoping still June or beginning of June. I haven't heard anything
I
from
haven't
them.
heard anything from
I
them.
haven't either.
Did you get that email though about well, you should have, 'cause I think you were in it.
Which
Our
one?
tax exempt with Musco.
Oh, yeah, I haven't sent that back. I haven't, but I'm gonna send that over to him.
We gotta get with.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks.
I don't mean to
Okay, get on your next meeting.
I know I have them.
Doing a great job.
I got the dramatic for the electric side of it from Paul, so I gotta get that from Jack Buster so we can put something together on that.
I reached out to him here like probably 2.5 weeks, 3 weeks ago, and he's like, "Oh, I don't have anything. I'll let you know soon." The next thing was finding a contractor to put the poles into, so.
Yeah, that should be on there.
Yeah, that's on now, yep. Okay. Right, that's all I got done on that. Anybody else with Parks and Rec? Any issues?
I just want our pool opening date, if we just kind of set a soft date for that.
It's usually the first weekend in
15th.
June, right after Memorial Day, right? That's usually when, yeah.
Didn't we talk about that Saturday?
June 3rd.
Later the better, because I have not been
Literally.
out there and worked yet, and just been busy with everything else. Golden West is running me ragged with their 25 locates every 3 days.
I think we kind of figured maybe like June 6th, is that gonna be too, I mean, okay?
We'll
Kind of-
shoot for it.
Kind of what I was thinking.
We're wanting to open on a Monday. Is that what we're deciding?
Probably Monday or Tuesday. Do soft open Monday, because then if we do that, bus transit did come up on a Tuesday, so we could do a soft open. You know, with new staff getting them going on a Monday when it's not so busy.
That'd be smart.
Otherwise, Trevor's been in there working, cleaning.
Yeah, I got there up there today. They're creating a mess up there.
Thank you for that.
Cleaned up,
Making a mess, but for cleaning up, so
got the,
pretty sharp.
got them shelves out of there. Start pressure washing, get ready to start painting and doing the floors. Epoxy the floors in there. I don't know if did we talk about that, we're gonna repaint everything in there white and then bought maroon epoxy floor to do the floors in there, maroon. So, give it an update. Keeps working on getting sinks and a couple new shower heads. Yeah, and go when we get to that stuff. There's a lot of other stuff that we need up there.
I gotta go measure up for those countertops too.
Swimming lessons too, we pushed it back a week.
Yep, and then we can move on to swimming. Yeah, we pushed swimming lessons back a week too, just to give our staff a little bit more time. What was the day that you guys actually settled on?
It would be Monday, June 26th. And it's the week of June 26th and July 3rd. Those 2 weeks, it'll be swimming lessons in the morning. And then it's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday for both those weeks.
Do we have anything that'll be posted online? How people can sign up and all of that works?
Yeah, it's already on MB. I know I've heard a few people already signed up through MB. MB already posted, so we should probably get it posted ourselves. So
Is it on our?
I don't think it's on there yet.
Okay.
I think we just changed it last week here, didn't I?
Yeah,
So
because it was going to be a week earlier, but we pushed it back a week. So
What's your July dates?
July 3rd, 4th, or sorry,
Fourth's a holiday.
but it's
So do the people that sign up that July 3rd week, do they get shorted a day? How does that work?
from what it's, we haven't talked about that if they were going to be doing it. We haven't said if they're having it on the 4th or not. So.
I would assume they wouldn't, so then we have to figure out that those people are
Well, we
either
could just
shorted
do
a
it. I could talk to Ryan and then see if they just do it the 7th then, because they don't do it on Fridays usually. For the previous week, they weren't doing it on Friday. They were only Monday through Thursday. So it'd be Monday, Wednesday,
Was
Thursday,
there a
Friday,
reason why we
maybe.
didn't pick the following week? The 10th?
we didn't really get a
Or
pick.
is that what they offered us?
Yeah, we didn't really get a pick. I just asked if we could push that start date back. So otherwise they had to schedule earlier.
Later the better, that pool's really cold.
Mhm.
Yeah, little kids are gonna.
Yeah, especially the first week, 2 weeks in
We
June.
always used to be, I think last year was almost the last week of July.
And it wasn't even into August, I think.
So
Let the water heater go.
Can you get some clarification on the dates? For
Yeah,
July?
I can ask.
I just think if we're gonna have people who wanna know what the makeup day for that would be.
anything else for Public Works or for Parks and Rec, sorry?
The park benches down there. I don't see it on the list, but I wanted to bring it up. I think we decided on 3 or 4. Still needed to be updated. Was it 3?
Three, yep, got it up there.
And I think the plan is that those 3 would be purchased in 2023, but I don't know where that went on the budget.
Yeah.
So I don't know if we still have time to purchase those to get them in.
Benches for.
We just park benches, regular park benches. We've been slowly replacing our wooden ones with,
We did like 5 in the first year or something in the first year, and then we were left with 3 that were in moderately okay condition.
I don't think Seth ordered those at all last year.
I know.
We
No,
probably
I
have to find,
Yeah.
so we'll have to find that information for you.
Yep.
They can work with you on that, so.
Okay. I think this is the first time I'm hearing of this because I'm like I'm drawing a complete blank on it because I'm like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
Because I can because we've got third penny money we could use and then also we still have money in the park improvements that we can still do.
Yeah, I think it just looked nice to get them all updated on there.
See what they jumped up to in price too also.
I think they were around 2 1/4 or something, weren't they, or 3 1/4 last time? So hopefully they're not as bad.
Who'd we
Or
buy
not,
them
hopefully
through?
the jump is not that bad.
Who'd we buy them through?
It's the same. We did the same
People
exact
that
company
did
we
the
did the swing
Playground.
playground equipment with. Yeah,
Okay.
so they was the same material and color and everything.
Right. Move on. Public Works.
I don't have too much, IB or BPI is gonna be in tomorrow to do that chip seal on First Street. They called today, confirmed that, was supposed to happen last year, but we just didn't get to it, so they asked if they could do it this year and honor the same price as last year. So it'll be in tomorrow.
Okay.
And then that, talked to Tri-State Pavement Services about doing some mastic sealing on Main, kind of where 7th Street is, where that water runs across the street there. Try and seal up some of them cracks a little bit. Keep eating that asphalt away. There'll be a little spot there and then a little spot by the railroad tracks on 4th Street here. And then there's a spot over on First and Glen where you cross the railroad track where the asphalt's kind of all beat out from the railroad track being there. So that total, we'll have to bring that up next month to okay to purchase it, but it's $7,400 to do the work.
We don't have it on the agenda, so we can't necessarily vote on it, but you can maybe get the consensus of council, which direction we want to go with that, so you can get the ball rolling on it, and then we'll just vote on it next month. Or you guys just want to table it and wait till next month?
Did we get any other quotes to compare this against?
No, I didn't. There's not a lot of people out there that do that mastic sealing.
Do you mind if I table it next month? Okay. Or is it, yeah.
We have to table it till next month.
Yeah, well, I mean, we can't vote. I mean, I know we weren't gonna vote on it, but we'll just let council think about it. And council's consents on it, but we'll just wait. Okay. We'll move on to city administrator, finance officer.
Just some time, couple of days for time off. I've got doctor's appointments the 16th and the 17th of this month, so I'm looking for those days off all day. Then a half day on the 19th and all day the 22nd.
Enjoy your time off.
Thank you.
We'll move on to claims.
Got one question on the Humane Society, a dog bite.
Yeah, in their report, they're saying they responded to a dog bite. It doesn't go into any more detail other than that. So that's what I put there.
There you go.
Yeah, it's like
Dog bite in March.
yeah. So it's supposed to be March contracted rate.
Okay.
As it because on the next page you'll see it's stray in April contracted rate because
Oh, okay.
Yep.
So we don't know whose dog, nothing.
it doesn't say.
Okay.
If they let us know if they removed the dog or if it was
Yeah.
still on the loose.
Right.
I can call them and
Yeah, I would probably get some more information on that because if it's gonna be a continuing habit, kind of want to know
Yeah.
whose dog it is.
Any questions or
Did we
concerns?
decide we're gonna call and get more information on
Mhm.
Yeah.
it? Okay.
yep, I'll call them.
Questions or concerns on claims? Motion,
I'll make the motion to approve.
motion from Joe. Second,
One second.
second from Jen. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Okay. Listen, we'll jump ahead here. We'll let you guys keep going, so you're not sitting here all night, so.
Make it serious.
As much as I'd love to say.
Yeah, I know.
I'd like to introduce Reese Poppin. He's a staff engineer with Banner. So maybe you've seen Reese around town here. He's a resident engineer on the lining project, on the sewer lining project. So Reese is providing the coordination between the contractor and Jarrett, and then also our Banner office. If you have questions about the project. go approach him and ask him and give him his best answer. Since Reese has been on the project, I'll let him give an update on the work that's been completed and kind of the upcoming work over the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, so, work that's been completed, Hydrogen has been in, they've televised all their lines to prepare for lining. They've completed roughly half of the main line lining for the sewer. And, Holstein has been in, installed their 3 manholes on the project. And, upcoming work, we have the rest of the main line lining that they're hoping to get done throughout the rest of the week here. And then lateral liner contractor will be in to start televising those laterals and getting their materials all sorted for that to be installed in a couple of weeks.
You may have noticed, I mean, the crews run around town. It's not very invasive. Everything's being done from the manhole structures. There has been a couple instances where some residents have had some blowback on their service lines. We've documented those residents' addresses, and the contractor has been directed to go talk to the homeowners and reconcile any damage that may have been done. The biggest damage that was probably done, and I couldn't even call it damage, I think there's been some sewage that has come back and maybe splattered on the wall from a toilet, getting some blowback. Other than that, I know Jared, you said there was some sewage that came up through a couple of floor drains. Nothing substantial. Now, when the lining contractor comes in, there may be a few more, Reese, you can correct me if I'm wrong, there may be a few more that maybe, complain about smells or, odd gases in the house, because that work's being done right at their lateral. I don't know if there's been any other comments from residents that the council has taken.
I think that's the biggest one. A couple backups, which I've never cleaned sewer mains in this town and not had 2 or 3 or 4 backups. It's just, for some reason, the plumbing is not what it needs to be. So let the air go out, so it usually pushes it up from either the floor drain or the stool. It's the older structures, and the plumbing codes were way different back then.
The
That's not, going into this project, we knew we were gonna have a handful of houses that were gonna have backups because of the jetting.
So now with this lateral, it gets a little bit more invasive. Are you guys potholing to come in a different access so they'll be actually up in the yards a little bit?
There may be instances where they do have to put a clean out up in the yard.
In the right of way though, we're not gonna go in, out of the right of way more or less. We'll be within the boundary.
Yeah.
And we do have to cover that tonight in that change order. So it'll be change order number 1, and I'll kind of discuss that here after we go through the day action item. But is the contractors on schedule? They're probably a little ahead of their schedule. Some of that work that's going to take a little bit longer is going to be the lateral liners. It takes a little bit longer for them to take the equipment down there and launch it each lateral. And then also the structure rehab. There's a fair number of structures that they have to go in and rehab. So they will be replacing the casting, so the cover on top of the manhole. So they're going to cut out the asphalt in the intersection. There's going to be kind of a little bit of an inconvenience for traffic, but they'll cone that off. And most of that work is likely going to be backfilled that same day. So there's going to be a little impact, overnight. The action items that we have for tonight is pay request number 1. And this is generally just stored material. So this, I don't know the specific, they don't have it in front of me, but it would have been work up to probably when they started the actual lining work. So they were asking to get paid for the stored liner that they had. They had to purchase that. And that's common to pay for stored materials. In this case, that stored materials is $63,002.77. So that would be the action to consider approval for the contractor pay request number 1. So Holstein Excavating is the prime contractor. But they've got a sub that's doing the lining work, and that's the HK solution. And there's
Way up
another
there.
sub
Oh, okay.
that's doing
It is.
lateral liners. Their name is Musson Brothers.
Did you say it was 63,000 something?
$63,002.70. That was the entire.
Yep, 63,277.
I pulled up my phone before the meeting and got it down. I think that maybe I didn't transfer it.
So we're simply just paying for like storage fee?
Well, they had to purchase the lining material that they put into the pipes.
Okay.
So when they put in that purchase order, they like to get paid, and they provided invoices for that. They like to get paid for just the material, because they purchased it for the city, for this job.
Okay.
So we're paying for that material that they have purchased. Now, they're not gonna get paid any of the install price on it until they've installed it, done a post televising on that, we've reviewed it, and there's been no issues found.
Okay.
Questions or concerns? Okay, request number one.
Is the application for payment supposed to be different than what they're requesting? This breakout, or is this gonna be something different?
It should be the same, so we will retain 10% on the project, so it should be 90% of what they're requesting.
Okay.
Because they're generally on a project, and it's common, it was spelled out in contract documents, as a project is, that the city would withhold 10% of the project value for the work completed, plus any stored materials, until the contractor reached substantial completion. So until the project was complete and it was being used for its intended use. At that time, you have an option to reduce that retainage to 5%. And hold 5% until they final out and the engineer is signed off, the city is signed off. At that time, that remaining 5% retainage should be given to the contractor.
So we're still withholding that 10%.
Mm-hmm, yep, and
Okay.
we'll hold that until they meet substantial and feel comfortable with the work done.
Is that going to be for every time we do like an approval? Is it 10% held back?
Yep. Unless there's some other items, like if a contractor was beyond the due date and liquidated damages,
Right.
then you would withhold 10% plus, and they would have to provide a schedule, but any anticipated liquidated damages that would have been held.
Okay.
So that's retained, it's just whatever the owner wants to hold to protect themselves.
Is 10% pretty traditional?
Yeah, that's pretty standard.
Okay.
So, and this just like before on the projects, you know, you have done an SRF project in the past. This is similar, except it does have the ARPA funding with it as well.
Yeah.
So Seth is working with CCOG. He submits this pay request. CCOG prepares the forms for Seth to fill out, Trevor to sign. And those forms go into the state, and then that is reimbursed. And if you recall, the funding package was an 83% grant, 15% loan. So every pay request to approve, 15% of that is the loan that you have to repay back.
I'll make a motion.
From Riley, second.
Have a second.
All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign.
The next item that we have is change order number 1. When the project was designed, it was designed with using cleanouts on all the laterals. So that cleanout was providing a secondary access point for the contractor. And it provides a benefit on the project because they do have another access point so they can watch the liner being launched into each of the laterals. After the bid, we had talked to the contractor that's doing the lateral work, and they felt comfortable doing that without the cleanouts. But it does take them a little bit more time to do that work. So they had asked for an extra $250 to do the lateral liner, but they would reduce, they would give back the cost per each clean out. So in this case, I don't have the number of clean outs in front of me. Do you recall how many clean outs?
Like
80 something.
90, but it was like.
Yeah, it was some,
200
I think you're right, it was around
200,
89
It
or
was like
like.
$200,000 over you.
Yep. So it would have been, yeah, about 200,000 to provide this access for the contractor. Now, they're only gonna eliminate the clean outs on laterals that they feel comfortable they can do without a secondary access point. But they're anticipating that they can eliminate almost 90% of the clean outs. If that is the case, the change order here would reduce the project cost by $136,950. So although we'd be paying the contractor an extra $250 for each of those laterals that they do without a clean out, we're saving around $1,800 or $2,000 by not, per clean out, by not having to install it. Resulting in the $136,950 reduction on the contract. Now, if that's acceptable, and as long as the contractor feels comfortable with it, Banner feels comfortable with it. We've seen the work done without clean outs. There is a little bit more.
So if, we'll just say, they had three laterals that don't meet spec. How do they go back in and fix that?
They may have to go cut in a clean out. And so at that time, we would pay for the clean out. They would repair that. And they wouldn't make any extra money from that. They would go back and do that work as intended or as originally designed. They're taking the risk of doing that without the clean out.
So then essentially put another liner in a lined pipe already? Or how does that work? Because they're already going to have that resin and that liner that goes into the main. If it don't seal right or whatever, are they going to reduce that homeowner's lateral again to try to get it to seal?
Good question, Reese, can you help me out with that one?
I think that would be a case by case basis there, depending on what went wrong. I'm not exactly sure what they would do, but if, say for instance, the liner had a big wrinkle in it that they weren't able to get out, I could see them maybe cutting that piece of the service out and replacing it with PVC to make sure that doesn't catch any solids or anything to back up the homeowner.
Yeah, that's what my concern is. If they have to pull a whole new liner through there, how thick are the liners? Quarter, half inch?
I think they're about 8 inch. Yeah,
They're fairly thin, but still, you take a quarter inch out of a 3-inch service or 4-inch service, that's
Makes a difference.
it makes a difference, and then now you're doing it again.
I don't think they can reline a liner. I think they have to come up with better options.
They would have to,
Cut down or dig down and take that portion of the service out, just put a new service in, or I don't think we'd allow them to shoot another liner through a liner that's already got a bubble in it.
and then with that being said, if they do have to cut the service and they're getting into the current road surface, who's paying for the road and curb?
I think we had discussed
That'd
some
probably
of
be
these.
on us, I'm assuming. But we're still saving 140,000, so I mean, if we have to cut one service out and it costs us $4,000 to do it, we're still money ahead, you know.
I agree, it's $140,000, it's kind of a no-brainer.
This is something that us three have sat and talked about for days, and we brought in the contractors and we talked to them. It's like, you know, the right thing to do is to put a clean out in every service, but it's like just as much to do the clean outs than it is to do the main line on the project. And when the contractor is like, well, you know, we can do it, we feel comfortable, we can do it. Weston talked to his associates and they feel comfortable that it's good. So I think we're smart to try and save a little bit of money on the clean outs. And maybe if we have to go back and do something with one or two, I think we'd be way farther ahead. You know, big picture.
So worst case scenario, we're gonna bring another change order to the table, right? Pretty much.
If it happens.
I mean, if, yeah, that's what I mean.
And
But
we
we're
may-
still doing okay with the, you know, with the money that we're saving.
Right, yep, that's, I mean, that's, you realize that savings. I mean, the contract gets reduced by that $137,000. So whatever the total price is, the contract minus 137. That
Put
would
that
be the
somewhere else,
expected.
for
Yep.
sure.
What was your $1,800 to $2,000 savings overall? I wrote that down, but what was that?
So there's two bid items for each lateral service. So there was a bid item for line of service and another bid item for a clean out and for secondary access. So that 1,800 to 2,000, and I'd have to look, I can look at that pay request and get the exact number.
Which one you want from me?
I'll hold it to you. There we go. Make sure I state it correctly. So the lateral line clean out was $1,900.
Okay.
And then the full length lateral liner and connection was $4,000 each. And so the contractor had asked for an extra $250, making that full length lateral liner connection $4,250. And they would not need to install the clean out. So that $1,900 for each clean out would not be paid out.
And they're, as they're cammering, they're looking at the lateral, and if there's a lateral that they're questioning, like it's got a big bend in it or whatever, they're gonna set a clean out for that. So it'd just be the laterals that they feel comfortable shooting a blind liner. If they don't feel comfortable, then we're gonna allow them to set a clean out. So if they say, yeah, we camera all these, and there's this one that we don't like, just because of something, put a clean out in, you know, with air on the safe side.
Sorry, my notes confused me. Thank you.
A lot of numbers.
Thank you.
My thoughts, just because I've sat here through several of these in my time, I don't know if I feel comfortable moving forward with this change order until we can get the questions that Matt asked confirmed from the company. I mean, there's a lot of speculation in here what would happen. I would much rather get a confirmed consensus as to what that would look like.
What kind of percentage do they normally do blind and the success rate?
Unless it doesn't.
I would have to ask, so I've got two resources in our office that are professional engineers that deal with this, Scott Letty and Beth Niemeyer. And I would have to ask them, and I've talked to, so Beth Niemeyer designed this project. And she's done quite a few lining projects. she felt pretty strongly about putting in cleanouts. We also consulted with Scott Letty, another gentleman that does many lining projects. He felt comfortable without putting in cleanouts. And Jared and I, and well, at that time, Jared and I during the design, we talked about it. We talked to Beth about it. I let Jared know Scott's, opinion on it as well. We had reached out to contractors. Some lateral lining contractors said they would like to have the access. Some said, we've done this plenty of times. We shoot them blind. We don't have issues with it. Now, they make a determination as well what they feel comfortable with. If they don't feel comfortable with that lateral, they're gonna put in a cleanout because they want to see themselves launch that lateral line.
And yeah, I mean, most contractors don't want to take the risk themselves too.
And it is their risk. So on this, and even, Jared, I guess we could go down that road too, but even if they have an issue with that liner, they're responsible to dig that up and they're responsible to repair it. So what would happen on 90 liners? If we had it happen to more than one or two, I guess I would probably be surprised with the conversations that I've had with Scott Letty and Beth Niemeyer, but I can follow up with them as well. We do have to be, fairly efficient with this as far as the contractor, when they come in and do these laterals, if they're gonna put a clean out in, they need to know pretty soon. Because they need to have a crew come in to start putting these clean outs on. Because they take a little while to do. If there's 90 of them, it's gonna take quite a while to get 90 of them done because they need to hydro excavate down to the main in every location. And they need to glue a T on top of that. That was one other thing that this gentleman, Scott Lady, had mentioned. He goes, you're knocking a hole in somebody's service. If you don't have to put a hole in somebody's service, try not to do that because those don't always work. They're trying to drill down through the top of that clay pipe. He's had where they drill from the top and go through the bottom, or they bust the top of the clay pipe. In that instance, they got to dig down, repair that section, and then they'll put that T on top. I guess at this point, with talking with Jared and consulting with my office, we feel pretty comfortable moving forward this way. The contractor still holds the risk. If we do end up in a situation where we have a liner issue, it's still the contractor that has to meet the requirements of the project.
Yeah, and I probably misspoke because Weston is right. If they shoot a liner and it doesn't do what it's supposed to do, it's your responsibility to make it right, not ours.
So we're taking a risk on either side of.
Well,
we're
not taking.
No, but I mean, if we don't.
We're just saving $140,000.
I'm just saying, so if we haven't put these cleanouts in, and like you said, the clay pipe collapse or breaks, now is that, I mean, whose responsibility is that now?
That'd probably fall back to the city.
This is the conversation we had when this was first brought up to us. And these were my concerns then. And my concerns don't change as to, yes, it's a $4,000 repair, but you're talking about 90 of these. So I understand and I don't disagree, and I'm not trying to question the integrity of who designed this. I'm just asking from our budget perspective. Yes, it's $130,000 change order, or $140,000 change order. But these questions I asked before as well is, in that case, like he said, what do you do? Do you shoot it down again? Then you compromise it one more time? Or at what point do they say, no, this really failed. Now we got to break it open and start over. And then that's at the cost of the city. So these were questions that I had asked before. And maybe I didn't ask them the best way. I don't understand the terminology as well as you guys do, but that was my question before. So there was a lot of thoughts. And I mean, even he had said, well, we possibly, and there's just a lot of uncertainty when we're at a potential risk of using city funding for it on top of what we've already dedicated.
But if they do have to go in and dig up one, that's on the contractor though, right?
Yeah.
So it wouldn't be on the city.
No.
It wouldn't be on the city. The product still has to meet the requirements of the project. So if it says that we have to have a 5-foot lateral liner from the main into the connection, and it can't have wrinkles in it, it has to have the proper seal. Right. Then until we have that, we don't pay for that. And if it requires them to dig down to that location, cut that section of pipe out and put a new section of pipe back in, build the roadway and back and back up and re-asphalt that patch, that's the contractor that has to do that.
I think Weston was saying too, that they still got a scope, so if they don't feel comfortable with that one, they will
Put in a lot.
they'll put in a clean out. So
And
they're not gonna shoot every single one.
Blind.
Well, they will, I mean,
What I
but if they
picked
don't
up-
feel comfortable with them.
what I picked up from him is, that clay pipe, they say they want to drill a 4-inch hole.
Mhm.
It might be a 10-inch hole. And we would be responsible probably to have the fix on that because we're requiring the lateral.
No, that won't be our.
I was gonna say the probably is the.
That'd still be on them too?
That connection has to meet specs. So if they drill it through the pipe and it cracks vertically or horizontally, 10 feet each direction, they'd have to replace that.
Okay.
Because we didn't do that. That's the contractor that touched that pipe.
So what could be the potential expense on the city then?
Should be zero.
Zero. I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, if they put a clean out in, you pay them $1,900 to put a clean out in. If they determine they don't need a clean out, you pay them the extra $250 to shoot the lateral liner in blind.
And save $1,650.
And yep, save $1,650 per, and estimating that there's gonna be a very small amount that they're gonna need to clean up. And they're doing the lateral televising now.
Yep.
So we'll have a little better idea. This number may go up and down. It's just like the same unit schedule that was in front of you on pay request 1. If you put in 10 ton more of asphalt, the city pays 10 ton more of asphalt. If they put in 10 ton less, the contractor receives 10 ton less payment.
Thank you.
Feel comfortable with it?
I think that's the point of this tonight too, guys, is that when they're bringing this stuff and this is this high dollar, we need to be talking about it too. So I'm fine if the council feels like you completely, I mean, we understand it, we're good with this. I'm comfortable. I asked my questions. So thank you.
No, that's really good. No more questions. Motion or
I'll make a motion to approve it.
motion from Joe. Get a second.
One second.
Second from Chad. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Okay. Okay.
I think that was it. Is there anything else on the agenda that we have to know?
Banner.
The only thing we should talk about maybe is that, I know, I don't know, just let the council know that we got a big snafu.
Yeah. That's gonna keep Jared up tonight. Hopefully not. There's a manhole located underneath the auger at the elevator. So where the drainage ditch is that goes behind the funeral home and the post office and that shop, there's a sewer line that goes back there, crosses underneath that drainage ditch. There's a manhole that sits on is the elevator property. And that manhole's inaccessible. It's a short cone. It's probably only 3 or 4 feet tall. And it's got, I don't know, 8 feet overburden on top of it. And to try to excavate down to that, it probably jeopardized the foundation of that structure that's next to it.
Where he kind of guesstimated was at is like about this far from the foundation,
So this line is a pretty primary conduit for all the sanitary sewer that's in the southeast portion of town. Now, there's a few options that we can investigate. One, we can't line it because they don't have any access. They're not going to be able to push a liner through, and they can't turn a corner if they don't have access into that structure. So we do have to look at a couple alternatives to try to get an access point in that segment of pipe. They can, there's a couple options. You could go behind the funeral home, which would be, so go on the east side of that drainage channel. But there are a lot of utilities there. You're eventually gonna have to cross the drainage channel. There's some storm sewer or culvert that conveys, from that channel and goes to the northwest. There's also a pretty steep embankment from when that elevator area was built up. The channel embankment's really steep, so it'd be fairly hard to reconstruct that without using like riprap or something to stabilize that bank.
There's pretty big chunks of concrete embedded in there too, so we don't know.
Yeah.
You start ripping that out, how much is gonna keep coming with it. Only thing that we can think of is that was there a long time ago, and then the railroad built over it, and then the elevator built over it. It's the only thing, I don't know, that's the only thing I think that could have possibly happened.
And yeah, they may have known it was there or not known it was there, but either way, it's inaccessible. I don't think we'll get a contractor to dig down to it.
Otherwise, you're looking down, going down Fourth, and connecting over.
Instead of shooting that diagonal with the drainage ditch, if we continue down Sherman up to Fourth and just make a right angle and go west on Fourth, we could go out in front of the post office, that shop, and the funeral home instead of going behind it. It's not an emergency. It's been operating since it was put in.
It's just something that we need to address and probably take care of it before it turns into an issue.
We'll have to, we can't, now that we know it, we'd be foolish to leave it like that. Because if that manhole would fail or plug up, we have no way to unplug it. And that feeds everything south of 4th Street and everything east of the railroad tracks.
Turn into an emergency.
Plus, if we do that development to the east, that's gonna feed right through that line. So it's a big chunk of town that's got one choke point that we can't get access to. So that's what we'll have to do. We'll have to put new pipe in to go around, but it's not gonna,
I'm thinking.
we were gonna line that with this project, but now we can't.
Property tax discount.
But, so we just wanted to let you guys know, just so it's in the back of your head, that at some point, we're gonna have to come up with a plan to fix that.
So at some point, are we talking like
Soon.
6
Lesson's already
weeks from now? Or are we talking?
probably a year or so from now. We talked about getting on that transportation when we do that. Transportation,
It comes down to funding. I mean, 'cause we have to set 2 manholes, and ideally, we talked about it, if we can go down Sherman to 4th and then 4th over to the manhole by the railroad tracks, then we can stay out of the railroad right away.
Okay.
We don't have to deal with them clowns, but it just takes money, because now we're digging in the streets.
So that's what, we were awarded that sidewalk grant on Main or on 4th Street, Fourth. So then we have that transportation grant that we did not accept, but now that we have the sidewalk grant, Weston and I kind of been talking about reapplying, and maybe we can even, now we apply for that and have our sewer situation, we're probably gonna be more of a better candidate for that also.
Yeah.
So,
Just an update for you guys.
Okay.
Something to think about.
it probably won't be anything coming down necessarily yet this year, but it'll be. Knock on wood, it still looks good, so.
Just would terrify me a little more than busy with lawns. Good for you.
Have anything else, Weston?
No, I think we're good on project.
Okay. Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Moving on. All right. Election of officers. So we need to, since Colby has stepped down, Watnick's now in, Colby was our president, so we'll have to do a nomination for a new president and then a new vice president, so. Council, so we'll start with president. Do we have any nominations for president?
I would nominate Riley for president.
Have a nomination by Ann. Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Second from Joe. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. All right,
Does it need to be a roll call vote, or is it just the ayes good enough?
you just aye.
Thank you, guys.
Welcome.
Okay, vice president. Can you get a nomination for vice president?
I make a nomination for Chas.
I have a nomination for Chance. Can you get a second?
I'll second that.
Second from Diane. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Okay. Thank you. Moving on. Okay, so this is my appointments, just kind of just some rough drawing. I do want to change, I didn't mean to remove Riley from the website. I was gonna move you somewhere else, but I think I'm just gonna leave you there, so Riley will be staying.
I actually thought that was kind of funny.
What? Well, I was gonna move
Well,
Riley.
he
Well, I
took
was-
me off website. I'm like, okay, sounds good.
No.
No.
I was gonna move you somewhere else, but then I was like, no, so I forgot to just leave it there, because it was just kind of a rough one through here, so. Add Riley back onto that website, so.
Under which one?
The website.
Very last one.
At the very second, there's 2 pages. So. Joel and Julie will be on water and sewer. Streets and alley, water, we met Watnick and Chaz, Park and Rec, leave with Chaz. Riley. Bank, I'm gonna kind of add that one. Julie, and contact you, you're
Yep.
okay with doing that?
Yep.
So Julie will be our person that will kind of always oversee our second eyes on the bank accounts, so. Level site, Joel and Matt.
Matt, what's your phone number?
605-759-4897.
Thank you.
Add him to the chat. Get ready.
Fire commission, Randy, animal control, Pete. Planning and zoning, one person was changed was Rick Lehman, he stepped down, and then Scott and I, zoning administration. School committee, still my wife, Heather. And then pool managers this year, I've hired Amber McMillan and Jessica Sargent to be the pool managers. TLB board, Dave Goldberg, attorney, Patrick Grover. Legal publication, the Century Press, law enforcement, repository. We'll still be using Core Trust and Reliabank. Reliabank will be our main source. But we're gonna list both banks. Website, Seth, I, and Riley. And then we will be adding a building inspector and code enforcer, and that'll be Lyle Johnson, or Jensen, sorry.
Can I get a copy of that stuff?
We need Lyle Jensen's number.
I'd wait until we have an official copy. Since this is
Yeah,
also the
we
law.
get,
Just
that's just kind of, some of it's handwritten on there.
Okay. Okay. I just look over it.
So Lyle's a 605. 610. 7894.
Everybody,
Say the last part again.
7894.
Seth, just something that had been traditionally done is that the seniority of the titles go first. So I don't know if you want to clean that up when you go through it. Essentially, it's just I think it was, at one point it said primary and secondary, but that was removed, I thought.
Yeah.
Just, if you're looking at how you want to set it up, that's one of the ways that it was done.
And then just change the dates to 2023.
Yep.
Okay.
Before. Yeah, like I said, this is kind of. a rough
Yeah, I
draft.
figured, that was just, I don't know, I got crossed off. So,
No, I was gonna move you, then I was like, no, then I forgot to add you back on there, so. Any questions or concerns on that? You guys good with all that? So. Okay.
one thing, sorry guys, the economic development did ask for a liaison. Are we gonna put it on here for
Well, yeah, I
appointment?
guess I didn't even talk about that. Yeah. We'll have to see if he wants to be the point of contact with that development group. They'll probably have to be our president and vice president, so.
No, I think she's talking about council's liaison
Oh,
too.
oh, yeah. Oh, I forgot to add Chess on there. So we had to add Chess on there, yeah, sorry. I'm gonna stay with Chess.
I'm writing that on there. You're stuck going to those extra meetings, Chaz.
Do we
I
wanna
think
do what?
the point of the reason behind that was that at some point in time, I think there's been communication that sometimes the economic development group and the city council need a representative to go between the two of them to make sure that both parties are being represented. So as this economic development grows, we just have a liaison that's on council.
You're saying other than a member?
It can be the member, I think it just needs to be like what we're,
Noted.
yeah, just
I
like,
know. Yeah, because going forward, I know we talked about it once we get really going. Chaz will kind of just do a small report from the development.
Yeah,
group.
that's
Not-
what-
Nothing, not in great detail, but
no, just a quick update.
quick update of where we're standing. And that's pretty much,
Are we gonna put Chaz on that then?
yep.
Okay.
You got that?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, abatement.
Okay, first thing about the abatement, this is privileged information. Don't say the name or address. 'Cause that's all private. Can't go over and talk about that. So on there. That's just what I was told by the Minnehaha County. So.
You kind of want to go into detail. You kind of been dealing with the county on this.
Yeah, they didn't really they didn't explain much to me on the phone, but they did send over a bunch of information for it. It seems like this individual is applying for an abatement for the partial expedition of dwelling or exemption of dwelling owned by certain disabled veterans and disabled and senior citizens, elderly assessment freeze. Seems to be the two that this individual is applying for on their property.
So the county, I do know, so they did make the recommendation on this. So.
Yep, the county did. And you'll see in here at that with where it says the abatement number and everything down at the bottom, it'll say with the equalization, the Minnehaha equalization recommends approval of it. And all the rest of them seem to recommend the approval of it. It's the first page of the abatement.
So do you need these pages back then, Zach, since we're
Yes.
not supposed to publicly?
Yep, I gotta
Okay.
destroy them after this, so.
So do we need a motion? Or?
We need to approve this.
Do we?
Yes, we need a motion to approve it and all that. We just approve the abatement.
What, yeah, what is the abatement? I mean, what are
It's
they?
a cut to the person's tax. Yep,
So there'll be a deduction on his property taxes.
you'll see.
So if I'm reading this right, it goes from, we can use these numbers, right?
Yeah, you can
Okay.
use the numbers.
202,150, the taxes are 3,966.60. The abatement amount would be 2,807, so they're saving a total of 1,300.
No, other way around.
Other way around?
Other way
Yep.
around.
Okay.
So it's getting cut by 2,000.
You go to the,
Yeah.
this next
You
page.
would
Cut,
pay-
cut by 2,800, yeah.
So the new tax amount would be $1,158.75.
Mhm.
So,
This one.
I have no idea.
Permanent.
I think so, yeah.
That's permanent.
Until the,
So you
until the
move it.
resident dies or moves.
Yeah, or move.
Seth, was that included in Kathleen's packet?
No.
No.
that's not it.
I pulled it out, yeah.
Oh, good.
That's why I was going through mine before.
Disrespecting him.
I just wanna know. if
This
the-
one don't need to go yet, for it to get done.
You're gonna want to.
When you talk to the county, they'll explain to you, if you call it equalization, they'll explain the whole, everything that folks can apply for it.
Yeah, my mom did it
All
that
these.
way, but-
Yeah, all of them.
Mine is
You
in
get
this
this?
file.
There's no name on this.
We don't have to sign it or
I
anything.
shouldn't, I don't believe Kathleen got anything, because it should go from,
If you wanna read that. There's no name or nothing on that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Give you more papers, Kathy. You didn't have enough. You
No, I got my book at the
I was gonna say you didn't have enough. You're gonna need a backpack.
Any more discussion or concern or move forward? Motion.
I'll make a motion to approve it.
Joe.
Nice second if I'm in the same ward.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You can-
Second.
You're a representative. So. Okay. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Okay. Here you go. You have it.
Yep, thank you.
You're all right here.
Thank you. I will get those destroyed after.
Okay, a public hearing for Colton Fire Department malt beverage license. Anyways, given the notice to the city council, the whole public hearing, the city council will hear from the public regarding the request of a malt beverage license. So hearing is scheduled for May 8th, 23 at 7 o'clock. All the public hearing. Full.
After that, then it goes to the application.
This a one-time.
No, this is, this is every year, they have
For
to.
every year.
Every
okay.
year.
Yep, and then you just gotta reapply. They don't have to go through this whole song and dance after they get this. They just have to, Trevor just has to sign it after this point.
They were,
Next,
they were technically under
they had a liquor license.
the wrong license prior before they were paying way more than they needed to. They
Yep.
just sell beer, so they didn't need the liquor license. So this is actually a savings to the fire department.
I'd like to make corrections, 208 South Main.
And the address.
Monty, you moved, didn't you hear? It moved.
I'm not gonna live in that ditch.
I'll get that fixed on the, when I send it in.
So. Yeah, what's
I'll make a motion for this.
motion from Riley?
I'll do the second.
From Diane.
So then does that open a new liquor license then?
Yep, because they didn't renew their liquor license this year, so last
Yes,
year.
I was gonna say yes.
Just make sure you put
Yep,
down.
I know. Yep.
So Chad abstains from this. Okay, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign.
You can open the bar, man. I'll go in with you.
I don't got the finance still.
All right, moving on to 9-month to 1-year CD at 3% higher. I'm asking council to give me consent to go forward on and also an amount to put some of our money into a CD. Now we have, Eli Bank gave their information. I still have 4 trusses also.
Is this,
It's
is this
just-
a comparison then of what we're
Well, it's a
looking at?
comparison, but I kind of wanted to word it this way since they kind of change. They could change on a daily premise, you know, so if I went to, I didn't want to really necessarily say core trust, and then we moved to core trust, and I go down there and core trust rates take a downfall, and we're stuck, then we have to wait again, so this is kind of more or less council giving me permission to take the bank.
So how much are you looking for each CD? For like the 9-month one?
Well,
Or
I strongly feel, so right now we have $1 million in there. I'd like to do 750,000 into a CD,
to the 9,
250 into a savings account.
which CD to the 9 and the 22 month?
Whichever ones I feel comfortable with
Okay.
at that moment, so in the best rate, so.
9-month has the best rate
Yeah.
for Reliabank.
So just for less, council giving me a percent and an amount, approval amount they want to put into a CD.
There's,
Was 750 the original proposal or thought?
Yes.
Do you think we would gain anything to put additional than that, or do you think that 750 would
I don't want to have we still need some of that
be, we need
money.
to have some of it held back?
I think we technically only need like around 40 or 60,000 to complete our year.
80,000.
80,000? Is it
Complete out
80,000?
the years.
Yeah.
Or what we budgeted
Yep.
for the year.
Okay.
So that's why I'm just kind of making it easy with that 250,000. If anything
Okay.
else comes
Okay.
up,
Are we still with the 1 million down at Core Trust?
yeah,
Mhm.
it's still technically there right now.
Because this is kind of my thought as I've been thinking about this since the last meeting. Core Trust hasn't been at any of our meetings. They do not do anything in the city. They're not they're not giving any donations to any of our funds that we need.
Mhm.
I don't know if I personally want to keep any money at Core Trust. They have shown no interest in Colton except for the money that we have down there.
Yeah.
That's my thought. I mean, Reliabank has stepped up with fundraising. They have stepped up with stuff that they've given out to the community. I mean, they donate their time. They donate a lot of stuff. Core Trust is giving us nothing in return. That's just my personal thought on leaving money down at Core Trust.
Yeah.
I don't know if anybody else feels that way, but especially $1 million.
I do too. I feel the same way.
They don't come to any of our meetings. We haven't seen this Chris or whoever he is.
Yeah.
To get their business,
Mhm.
only that it's there.
Yeah.
That's just my personal thought. I'm just getting it off my chest because I don't think that Core Trust is vested in Colton like Reliabank is,
Yeah. No, I agree with you.
you know?
Sorry.
That's just my thought. And to leave that kind of money down there,
Who do we primarily bank with?
Reliabank.
Right
For
now,
Reliabank?
we used to look bank with our
It
trust.
was
It used to be with US Bank and then it went to Core Trust because US Bank left. But that's just my feelings on that.
Who has the better savings?
Check after the 22-month CD.
What's that?
After the 22-month CD, I got approval to do a special rate on the savings account for you guys as well. Adding 130 basis points to the savings account that's listed there makes it 1.5% on $200,000 or more.
How long is that good for though? Like, once you get their business, is it done?
As of right now, I've been given approval to do it for as long as necessary. But as you all know, I'm not gonna make any promises here. World can change in a real hurry. So
Like I said, I just wanted to
adding 1.3% on top of that money market savings rate. 130 basis points.
like I said, most likely it's gonna be Reliabank, but like I said, go down tomorrow and then the rates change. And Core Trust at that time has a higher rate, then I'm locked. You know what I'm saying? So I just worded it better on
Yeah,
this way, so
and I
we
get
have the
that.
flexibility.
Those are just my feelings with everything that I've seen and the way I feel about leaving that kind of money down there.
No, I'll take that, there's all that, and then, you know. you
I
guys-
definitely think we need to do something with the money.
Yeah.
If it's just sitting there not making money, we should be making it.
Yep.
Is there any way, since you have such a wonderful relationship with the core trust and the VP, is there any way you can ask him what level of participation they would be willing to do? I mean, I know that we don't want a competitor to Reliabank, but in the defense of the fact that we're willing to entertain two banking entities, is there something that core trust would be willing to do in sponsorship, maybe like a silent sponsorship of some way, but would there be, that would help maybe what Diane's feeling
Well,
with
and I
that?
sat down and talked to Chris 'cause about, you know,
Right.
moving money here again. And, you know, the only thing that I pretty much got out of them is if, you know, we do leave our money down there, and they'll probably look at doing like a sponsorship at the ball field or whatever. Pretty much about his hands are tied on something like that, you know what I mean?
But that's if you leave your money at my bank, I can do this for you,
Yeah.
you know?
No, I know, and I
Yeah.
get it. I get it completely on that aspect also too. You're, I'm just saying that's why I sat down, talked to him, and then that's pretty much what I got out of the whole deal. That he has a better chance of going. Well, good. So let's put it this way. Chris has got his hands tied, just pretty much the same thing as Kyle. You know, he can only go and do the ask. So when I sit there and talk to him, he's talking to the, you know, the higher ups. So he's like, that's, if I can get you guys the money, he goes, that's about the only way that I can do it. So.
But it's not even the money aspect, it's the
No,
participation in the community and the stepping forward to say, here, I'm gonna donate this for you guys for Country Days, and we're gonna do this, you know, and they
Yeah.
sponsor certain things and.
And then that's the thing, is yes, I get, and like I said, we always had to do the ask, because after I said and talked with him, he's like, you guys could have came and we always give about $500 every year for anything. He's gonna ask for it. But so no, I agree. But
So if we need 80,000 to complete our last year's budget, or the current budget, however you guys want to word that, we're talking about leaving 250 in there
into the savings account.
into the
'Cause then we
savings
can get that at, you know, there's no penalty.
until we start pulling that 80,000 back out of that 250.
There's no penalty on that.
No penalty pulling it, but we won't get that. You know, you'll be down quite a bit further. You'd be 1.45% versus.
We could leave it just in the savings account till it's needed to, and then we'd still be making it, because doing a transfer from a savings account to a checking is easy.
Oh,
You know,
yeah.
If it's all in Reliabank, that'd just make it real easy. I just have to, you know, then we can still leave that 250. That's still making us that 1.5% interest on it till we need it, you know. Just thought I'd put that out there, you know.
Yeah, but he said that you get better interest rate out of it.
Yeah, no, I'm saying if we move over to Reliabank,
Yeah.
then we don't have to.
Well, yeah, but if you stay above that 200,000, you get that extra 0.5.
1.5.
Yeah.
Well, you'd get they're giving us 1.3 on top of the other rates.
Yeah, so we.
And 200 and up is 0.2%, which would bump us to that 1.5. So as long as we stay above that 200, we gain that,
Mhm.
you know, 0.05%. I mean,
Yeah, and this is just what we had budgeted for, so we don't necessarily.
We don't have to spend it
We don't
if we've
have to
got it
spend it,
budgeted.
but most likely
okay.
going to, I mean, but. Okay, so what are you guys good with an amount then?
I'm good with the 750,000, but I'm just kind of curious where you're gonna put it. That's my biggest question. You're gonna, you know, you're gonna put it on Reliabank, or you're gonna go to core trust with it. And what, if you're gonna use a 9-month CD, or you're gonna do 30 to 22 month? You know, I know we're leaving that up to you. Do you want to make,
I'm gonna use your guys' recommendations. Like I said, what do you?
And then my next question is, what are we doing with the money afterwards? Is it just going back
Well,
to?
just reinvest it back again.
reinvest it back, or would it be more beneficial to take that interest and pay off current loans that we're paying 6.5% interest on?
Well.
You're not gonna get it all at once, so it isn't gonna
No.
be, I mean, it isn't gonna pay off anything. And, I mean, in this amount of time.
No, but it would pay it down
One
quicker.
thing I did plan, because like, you know, that sidewalk grant and all that stuff that we're working on, that's a percentage met. We meet, you know, well, we have 5 years to
use that money.
to use that money and to save up for it. Well, one thing that we could do by doing this, if we just let it sit in that 5 years, we'd actually pretty much just be
Pay
able
for
to
itself.
and get going without any, technically.
At current rates. Just like
Right.
Sky doesn't fall.
Yeah, well, yeah, I mean, if everything stays the same. If everything stays the same. So, what are you guys' recommendations? 750?
Yeah.
That's it? And then
Yeah.
do what? You wanna do a 9-month or 22?
I think the 9 month.
Yeah, why don't we start out with the 9? I mean, that'd
Then
be
see what
silly
Kyle-
not to.
Then see what Kyle comes back with.
Or can we put 500 into the 9 and 250 into the 22?
Yeah, good work. Break it up, I guess.
I mean, just an option.
Right.
You know, that way we do have one sitting a little bit longer.
You're giving, so if things do, drop, you've still got something that's earning a pretty good interest rate then, so.
But as of right now, we can lock in.
Right.
That'd be dumb to not take the 750,000 at 4.8% and then reassess
Right.
for
But
like 7-8
but in
months.
7 months, if rates hit 1%, you look like a genius for doing the 22 month right now.
Yeah.
That's the problem. That's your
Oh,
risk.
oh, yeah,
You know, so at
Yeah,
least we
yeah.
got some money making good interest.
I see,
It could
yeah,
also hurt us in the long run, in 9 months, if it goes up to 5%,
yeah,
you know,
true. You get bottom
Well,
out.
it's just like any time you invest in something like that.
Yeah.
yeah.
That's a risk.
I agree with you. Go 5 and 250.
250.
You guys think?
It'd be I think the safest option to do that,
Don't put all
just.
your
Eggs in
eggs
one
in the
basket.
basket.
Buy
Hey.
gold.
I don't disagree to not put all of our eggs in one basket, but I would like to go back to core trust and kind of challenge a little bit some more participation or sponsorship. I mean, if we look at it from a community perspective, when the call was out there for us to have a bank and there was a need, Rely Bank stepped in. So I think we need to make sure that there is some credibility held there. I don't disagree that in the world we live in, putting all of our eggs, especially banking and mining, in one basket. But I would like to challenge Core Trust, either a silent partnership, and this isn't to be a competitor view. This is more of like kind of showing some skin in the game. Rely Bank steps up countless times and offers money and support, and Kyle sits in these meetings with us. I think Core Trust, I think could owe us the same type of respect if they want this type of money from us or that partnership. I think I would just challenge how they could be more bigger participants in our community. I don't know what that looks like, but
Nope. Agreed. Working that. For trust. Okay. Sounds good. Just noticed, credit cards weren't added. We can, okay, I just noticed one thing on here. I'm gonna make an amend on the agenda, because there's no necessarily any money being asked. Just put a line item. We need to do the credit cards with Rely Bank. We need to move forward with that so we can stop having Core Trust be the pay, because Pete's credit card, mine, Seth, all with Rely are a Core Trust, so
Okay.
we need to do that. So it was, I missed it too. I had it on there, and then it just, when Seth sent it out, I just noticed it now, so partially my fault too.
we're too busy crossing in up the website.
Nixon.
So I want to start with raise this. I want Jarrett at a $6,000 limit. Seth
It was 3, I think.
Yep, at 3,000. I myself only need 1,500. Amber McMillan, 1,500. And Jessica Sargent at 1,500. The only reason I'm saying 1,500 on those two, because our pool manager still to resupply. And then we noticed along, last year we set it like at 1,000, and it was really hard on some of those tournaments and stuff to get stuff going.
Combined, they'll have 3, so.
Yeah. And like I said, the only reason is because if one can't go or one stop, then the other card's there, then we don't have to try and redo this again. So.
I know we had talked about this before, with the pool. Will they be providing receipts that the city council can see?
Yep.
We'll actually be able to see the full receipt.
Yep, I'll make sure we'll get that. So Seth can, I'll have them hand them in, and then Seth can just make a photocopy of all that. And we can have that out.
Because I know we had talked about that before.
Yeah, especially when they're buying concession food, because some stuff can get slipped through the cracks of that doesn't look like.
I don't. Twinkies?
No, and yeah, and then now that'll be part of Julie's job now too.
Yeah.
Oh.
You know how much I love reconciling credit cards?
They shouldn't be too bad. But.
No.
I don't think it
It'll
has
be
anything to
funner
do
'cause-
with who it is or what it is.
No,
I think
we
it was just, that was a plan we were gonna have last year.
Check
Cause
his
there,
balance.
because there was a lot of questions around, wow, you bought 500 suckers. Well, yeah, well, where are the 500? It's just, we're gonna quiet the noise. Just look at
Checks and
it.
balances.
Yep.
Okay. So everybody's good with that. I can get a motion to approve on that
I'll make a motion.
from Julie.
I will abstain since it's family.
I'll second.
Second from Chance. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Okay. Good stuff.
Who, did you get a motion to approve doing the CDs and all that stuff? Did we?
Well, we're not really spending money. I'm just taking I don't
Well,
really need a motion on that. I just
Okay.
need I just need.
I thought
I'm gonna
that's
take
what-
council's recommendation on it and move forward.
Okay, that's what I was wondering. I was just like,
What are we doing with the last 250? Are we moving that to Reliabank or is that staying at court?
That's up to you guys, and we can, like I said, I'm gonna follow up with what Riley asked and put a little bit more heat on court dress and say, here's the deal. This is your last chance. And this is what we're looking at.
So can we talk about it after you follow up during employee reviews coming up next week?
Yep.
this week,
Or is it this week? I mean,
the
this
11th.
week?
The 11th. Yep.
Yeah.
We're gonna talk about that too.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about that. So, you guys okay? We can keep you in, and if I have any issue arise, maybe we can get an emergency council meeting and take 10 minutes. And we just need 24 hours to do that, so. But otherwise, take the best interest in the city on everything, so. Okay. Moving on. I'm gonna go to the bank loan proposal. For that bank, this is for the sign, or for the baseball lights, that's coming around the corner, so we just wanna get this approved. Now, this 90,000 obviously can change, we did apply for a $10,000 grant plus. We applied for that T-Mobile, which is a $60,000 grant. So hopefully we get an answer. I know
What's the T-Mobile?
T-Mobile, they just invest back in their local communities and stuff like that.
Okay.
But, yeah, T-Mobile, the cell phone.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if they wanted to do something here in town or not.
No, it was just, got it sent to us. Brandon Lane from Sioux Valley sent it to us also, so.
Okay.
And then 10,000 one is also from Sioux Valley, and that's the max that you can ask, so we put that in. There should be a meeting here
Yeah, shortly.
shortly, so hopefully have an answer. So if we get that, we'll take that off of the principal right away before we take the loan out, and then we can even too, if we wanna necessarily invest some of the sponsorship money to knock down the principal too, we can look at that, but I just kinda wanted to get that rate locked in at 6%, get that kind of written up here, just whenever that comes, so we can get that done.
I am also, Musco sent me over a list of grants to apply for, so I'm gonna be working on applying through all of them. There's like 8 or 9 of them that I can apply for, so I'm gonna start working on that, so.
Do you go through like grant writing, like any type of like seminars or coaching or anything?
I call Sophie and I ask her.
Sophie's very good at
Yep.
these.
And then, so I'm gonna be bothering her quite a bit here. So.
No, she's pretty
Grants
good.
can get kind of sticky and
Yep.
complicated, so
The last couple ones I helped with him, they were pretty much
straightforward.
fill in the blank and
That's nice.
A, B,
They've
C,
been-
kind of.
Those ones have been
multiple
nice.
choice. It's like, oh,
Every
those are-
every answer's wrong.
Still
Just pick C.
Yeah.
Just pick C.
When in doubt,
That-
pick C.
Actually,
But I just needed the approval to go take out the loan with Rely Bank.
Do you need a motion on that still?
Yep. Get a motion.
I'll make motion.
Motion from Julie. Or you a non-tax one?
Are we still on for June? Did we get any feedback from them? Or any information?
We're
Was-
still on for June. We just don't have the exact date yet, so. we're looking
Okay,
at-
so, but it's,
Yeah,
it
he's
looks
still,
like
it's still on for June.
good.
So we
Good.
got
That's what
that
I was wondering.
I'll second.
second from Joe. Yeah, we did that contract order right away. too.
we got that sent off to them right away, and
Yeah, so that put us in production, so. All right, all those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Okay.
So we're not moving to.
Okay. Now, did you move on to the pool membership POS system member splash? Any of you guys ever take a chance to watch that video? I know.
I
I
didn't
know
get
you
it.
didn't have your email to send it to you, so.
I watched a good chunk of it.
Um, It's pretty good. I've been looking for POS systems for a while for down at the pool.
Do we have a proposal in here, Trevor? I don't know what it is. Or what we're talking about?
Probably not an actual proposal.
we don't have a proposal from them.
So I've been looking for an actual system on that, just to get away from the paper and pencil, keep better track of what's going on down at the pool, with memberships and just daily attendance. And so I've been looking at different POS systems, looking at Square. What was that other one that you sent me?
Ours was all through finance.
Yeah, well, there's another, I can't remember, but it was like, yeah, that's close. It's not what I was looking for. You guys did send me this member splash and I followed up with them. I sat with a Teams meeting from California. She went through everything. That system kind of gave me a kind of a quick run through, took about 50 minutes. I'm like, okay, this is exactly what I've been looking for because it's all online based. So families can just get online, sign up that way. They upload their picture. So when they come and check in, they just give their last name. Oh, yep, face recognition. Keeps track of how many times they're coming into the pool. It's just so we can see, attendance and against the pool daily routine. So I thought that was great because then we can figure out over time when to staff and when to understaff. We don't need to have overloaded all the time. Some other things I'm missing.
It keeps track of inventory.
Yeah, well,
You can it will email receipts out to.
Yeah, so yeah, that was another thing. So a child comes up and wants to purchase, so that was the whole thing too, is some of them don't carry cash or we didn't want cash. They can come down there and go up to the concession and then, obviously they have their pitch. Okay, I want a candy bar or a hot dog. They can add it onto their deal. And then every 2 weeks, Seth can go and click on the deal and grabs everybody that has a balance and then emails it out to the parents and pay the balance.
overweight child with a free.
I was gonna say credit with kids is probably not.
Well, yeah.
Or parents better.
Can we load it?
My current
Can we go the other way?
You can load it too, so that's another thing too, that if the kid has a zero balance, we can just say, hey, you don't have any money on it, so sorry. I mean, if you guys want them to go negative, we can let them go negative, but they can preload credits onto it also, so. if
It's
they
like a
wanna-
school lunch card.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, what was the other? You can also keep track of, so like, if a family brought in another family friend that's not under their membership, you can add them on to your deal, and then you can just credit it right to the account, so they're not paying. And then you can actually do incentives, so if like you refer someone, you can get membership bonuses, credits to add. So if you like always have a cousin that's always coming swimming, you can get, if you want to add that, you can add credits to them for, if you sign another family signs up under your referral. What was the other? We get MailChimp with it also, so you can send out emails to all the families on anything. So if with this bus that we're looking at, we can click on all the Crooks kids and just send out an email to the parents and saying it's not, no bus travel today, whatever,
Weather, yeah.
or something with the pool.
Chemical.
You get a 5-page website with it. So they'll set it all up. That also,
Would that be in place of what we have on the city of Colton, or what do you mean 5-page website?
I think that we'll have to hyperlink it, so it'll be on its own.
So it'll have its own landing page?
Yep.
Except that it'll work with our website. We can add additional
Yeah, you
landing
can
pages
do-
without cost.
You can hyperlink to them, yeah. I don't know if it'd be actually adding them in, because I don't know if we can actually add our extra web pages like that.
We can't add it. You can add a hyperlink, though, can we?
Yeah, you can hyperlink to it. That's no problem. It's just, it's not going to be a part of Gov Office. I don't think.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you get that. You can also do campaigns with this deal. So if you're saying, hey, we want a new diving board, you can send out a promotion, everything. Families can click on there and immediately donate. I'm just thinking in the days nowadays, it's kind of a pain for people to come down and write a check, So if they have an easy deal of just click, donate the money. Also, if we get a visitor that comes in and doesn't have a membership, you just put them under the house pass, and you take their information, and it'll kind of keep track. So if they come like 5 times, you can get a notification and be like, hey, we've seen you've been here 5 times. Let's keep you under a membership. And
How much are you looking at for that kind of system?
so this system right now, the one that she's like, well, I think you guys need, I don't think we really need that high standard, but that one gives us the 5-page website. It's usually $2,000 a year. This year and then a $500 setup. They'll remove the $500 setup and they'll let us try it for a year at 50% off, so we could get started on it for $1,000 for this POS system. Or it's not really a POS system. You just need a laptop, and it's a software. But that software is always evolving. Because I kind of asked her some questions of, hey, can you do this? No, but we're working on it. And I don't know. I just think it's. I know it's a lot of money for this deal, but I think the outreach that you get with it, because at the end of the year, or sorry, the beginning of the next year, you could send out emails to all the families, say, time to sign back up for the pool, and then it lists who's all signed back up and all that.
My other question is could that credit or charge account be used at the concessions for a ball game also?
You
Can that-
could.
could,
I mean,
you know,
you technically could. All you need is all you need is a laptop up there.
I was just thinking, that way if kids are up here and their parents aren't for a game,
Yeah.
or their parents didn't bring money or whatever.
Yep. And just the one thing add on to that too. Yeah. I know there's something else, wasn't there?
Cause it does inventory, I'm assuming, right?
Yep, it'll do.
The inventory.
Yep. Yeah, because then we can go down to the next size smaller, and that's $12.50 a year.
Will they still offer the half off?
I don't think on the half off, they'll waive the setup fee on that one, but we lose the website and all that.
But I mean, we can utilize our website if that was.
If that was the case.
you'd still get the email capabilities and all that, or?
So the MailChimp, yeah. I think on that one, I had to double check on that one. I don't know if that, so we were mainly saying that was the middle of the road because there's the next tier up that has hundreds of members, you know, if you get, because this one will get you to, if you have 500 members, then you have to move up to the level that we're at right now. So.
At the 2,000.
At the 2,000, so.
Seth, did they mail you anything before the demo or anything that you could print out for us? Because if we're gonna.
They have the comparison of all the plan that lists everything that each plan does.
Right. Well, it's just in that email, right? Or that you sent to council? Is that everything? Is everything, that stuff in the email you sent to council? With the video and all that?
Yeah, I'm gonna.
According to this, you don't get the website.
I did Trevor, so I need to go through it myself.
Wow, you did?
I know, guys, I know. I emailed this stupid thing to Trevor like 4 times, and I ended up having to like redo it, and
I have
it
a
was.
bunch on here, so maybe.
Oh yeah, I've got my own, but yes, I will certainly take yours.
Your very first word.
Oh yes, I know.
I appreciate it. It's giving me something to do tonight.
Hey, man, I know. Do you want me to give her that? I just scratched and did little.
You know what?
ads.
Had good intention behind it.
Basis of
I
it,
think
awesome.
Splashes instead of miles.
Oh, I'm fine with that.
But they did give it to us too, like, so if you guys want to try it, there is we do have a
This is all the
member,
time I correct stuff.
kind of
It's got it back.
a rough run through. So you can
Just like a
actually-
demo.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
yeah.
mean, we can pull it up right now and look at it if you guys wanted to.
It's a 53-minute video.
No.
No.
The demo-
Wait, what?
Yeah, there's a demo. They set us up with a demo
Okay.
interface. So if you wanted to go into the system, you can go and play around on it.
Yeah.
But
27 family passes right off the bat to just cover $1,000.
well, that's what I said too. I mean, we could raise our family pass up to, another $20 to offset the cost on this. Because I mean, I think $75 for a family is pretty cheap. Also, it has a feature too that you can set up a nanny or a grandparent onto that family pass, and it actually lists them as that. So you can put an additional charge. So if you wanted a granny or grandma or grandpa, it only can do one. Say you want to do another $25 for a grandma and grandpa, so they're not always buying. Like I said, I know it's expensive, but I think the exposure that you can get with it can take the pool to a different level, because then you can start sending it out to Baltic and Crooks and Chester. And instead of getting with the old paper and they have to come in to see Seth or file down at the pool. We gotta do it, or Riley.
Do you want a motion from us tonight, or what are we looking for on this tonight?
Well, it takes 5 to 7 days for them to set it up. I asked them on that, how long it would take for them to set it up. So
Do we have any more demos to compare this with, or?
I've looked at, there's another one called, look at it, and it was pretty rough. I mean, it's just pretty bare bones system. I think there's a reason why this one's $1,000. I mean, the other one that I was looking at was like $350 for the year, and it wasn't even thing. It was just pretty much a membership database. Is what all the other ones I kind of looked at.
So in order to increase the membership cost, then that's gonna end up having to be next year. So we'll have to fund the cost this year, increase memberships next year.
We haven't set, we can raise the,
We need to redo another, fee resolution. We can do another amendment to it and then
otherwise we
have
just leave
it.
it this year and we try it, and if it doesn't work, I mean, we don't have to sign back up next year, so if it turns out the system was not anything that.
We can try it for $1,000.
Try it for-
We're doing sponsorships now anyway, so at least we can take one of those sponsors, pay for this, just a trial and error kind of for a
Yeah.
year.
See what we get. I mean, like I said, I thought the campaign idea was awesome on that end, because
I just think
there's stuff that you always want to buy, but how do you get the word out? And how, if you can get the word out and like, you know, we want to get more canopies down there, help donate our new diving board or water slide, you know, how easy it is for a family to click on there and here's my credit card, I'll donate $25 to it, versus, well, I either go down to the bank or find Seth, or, and then that gets kind of lost in the system.
my whole thing is it'd be nice to use it as like a whole park area.
Yeah.
Not only just the pool, but you can, you know, maybe we could put baseball schedules. You know, like I said, use it at the concessions for the baseball games.
Yeah.
You know, use it as the whole park, and the pool would just be, you know, higher up on the, you know.
Well, the nice thing about it, our lifeguards and pool staff be running it down there anyway, so all they have to do is grab the laptop and bring it up there. Or we can send another laptop up there.
We can do another one because, well, if Joe's willing to give up his laptop, because yep. Well, then we've got two laptops. We can have one at the baseball field and one at the pool. Well, to run it and yeah.
We've never.
It hasn't moved from over there.
Last thing I need is another one.
Well, I think just with this, you know, when you look at Crooks, you know, we send this down there. A little bit more peace of mind on them knowing, okay, hey, look at the system that's in here. Like, I got a picture of my child, emergency contact. That's all a click. We're not digging through papers and trying to find something.
I do like that feature, the emergency contact.
So,
I mean,
I like the idea of the inventory and profit and loss, and I mean,
Yeah.
just have the accountability.
yeah, there's something. And like I said, it keeps daily pool activity, so you can see the tracking of what's happening on certain days and what's not.
So I have a couple questions.
Okay.
So the laptop that we're gonna supply down there, first question is how do you lock that thing down like Fort Knox?
Down there.
So keep in mind, we're going to have it sitting in the lifeguard station on a table. It gets knocked down, liability. My second thing is how do you prevent the temptation for sitting on the computer and searching, Googling, Facebook when they need to be focusing on their job duties as a side? Like, these are things that are going through my mind. So
you can set up, the network manager can set up restricted sites on that, so you can put it out that they can't get on Facebook, and you can put it that they can't get on any other of those social media accounts.
is there any way we could restrict it just to the software?
I can talk with IT and then they could probably set up something.
Because I don't
Network
even think
restriction.
like Googling, using it for music. I don't want cell phones plugged into it. I mean, these are all the things that are starting to run through my mind. That you've got cell phones hooked into it. Someone's downloaded something. They watched a video. Now we have a virus issue. How is this?
Otherwise, you can go a tablet too. You can move to a tablet, but then you lose the keyboard, or you just do a tablet with the, you know, little keyboard with it also.
I just think we need some.
Well, I could talk with IT and there's probably just ways you can turn. There's probably ways that you can have it so you turn off the IT probably would have a solution to disable the USB ports and all that. And so then you don't have to worry about any of that. And then if we're also going with it, I think if we just get say a housing maybe for it, or set up something where this is where like the laptop sits there and it doesn't leave there, kind of a
docking station.
yeah, kind of setting like that, and then it can get locked up, like it's got a lock and everything, and the pool manager is the one who has the keys for
You can
that.
do a pull-out tray where it gets pretty much where it slides out and you can get screwed down.
Yeah.
Do it if you want it that way.
Yeah, do do that. You know.
What's the humidity and heat gonna do to
That's
that up
what my
there?
other next question was, or the chlorine
Mm.
Yeah.
chemicals. For someone.
That's a question for the IT.
I think you'd almost wanna have like a tablet.
Tablet,
To
where
have
they're
it
more
all
waterproof.
sealed, shock resistant case and all that stuff with it. Just make a touch screen, don't give them they don't need a keyboard for it.
What does the pool generate every year in revenue?
That's my next question.
Let me check.
I don't need a net. I want, how much money does the pool bring in for income?
The maintenance for it costs more than the income.
Well, I understand. I know that's the answer because Pete won't stop giggling right now.
We know, don't we, Pete?
But the number I'm looking for is the percentage of revenue versus what this is gonna cost you. Is it worth it?
Well, that was my other question. So Kyle, you offered, ReliaMake offered us
So-
POS systems. What is lacking in those POS systems or software that cannot give us the functionality of like a P&L and inventory?
It's a great question. These two would know more about that than I would, because that's just a referral that I sent over
Okay.
through Finance.
There's absolutely no membership.
There's no.
There's nothing on the lines of that, so.
We use Square at the shop and they can establish an account. Most of our customers don't on the Square.
Yeah.
But they do have an inventory option you can do. 'Cause I tried playing with that at the shop, but an air freshener once every 3 months wasn't worth it.
Yeah.
Yeah, what you're looking for is.
You said we could do like sell stuff.
Yeah, you can sell stuff on there too. So
Yeah.
like I thought, that's why I said, I think we try it and see what it does. I mean, that's just my recommendation because I think it can bring it to the next level.
That's the next question, is what can it generate for revenue based off? your-
Because right now we're all paper and pencil. And you lose, you have zero. Today's age is now everything computer and connecting, so we have no connection with any of our members. There is nothing out there to talk to them saying.
If it can generate you twice the revenue next year, smart idea. But if it's over a certain percentage of X when it comes to the revenue you generate now, to get this all set up and going, you really got to question if it's worth it.
Yeah. Well, and that's where.
For 3 months.
That was, because you're open, when's the pool opening?
June, July, and we're closed in August.
Yeah.
So not even 3 months.
You're putting another 60 hours of work on Seth at some point, and when it gets screwed up, Seth's also gonna get every phone call.
Well, you don't have to set this up.
What, if it doesn't work right, who's gonna get a phone call? Well, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I guess my thought is so we're looking at $1,000 for the software. If we decide to do tablets, we're looking at another
We'll have to buy the tablets. And all that.
$1,000 a tablet plus a case. So I'm just trying to critically think through this. Do I think we need something like this? Yes, I think that our community deserves to understand and see the membership tracking, the P&L. I understand the inventory. Did you get the number of what the pool revenue was?
Okay, so for the revenue that it generated
No.
was for all the parks. I got a grand total for all the park stuff. It was $17,196.83.
You don't have it broken out for the pool.
I can
though?
have it. I can get it broken out, but it's for daily passes. It was $3,822. For pool concessions, it was $7,433.83. Baseball concessions, it was $1,963. And then for swimming season passes, it's $2,298. And then for pool parties, it was $100. The campsites ones, which we could probably put this in there so people can reserve online, so they don't have to call me and all that. It was $780. And then for miscellaneous, which was donations given to the pool for chemical and that stuff, was $800.
No, that's the next thing too. I forgot to add on that. So family can go on there and do pool reservations on there. So they can look through, we can have block time. Well, we don't necessarily set up a block time. They can go and pick a day. They actually look like at a calendar, and you can click that and you can block a time from X to X, and it gets sent to Seth or whoever wants to have their pool manager, and then they can either accept it or deny it, and then it's automatically done too.
7.5% of your net revenue with one capital expense, plus you're paying more time on it. I'm not saying as a banker, I wouldn't fund that if you were asking for a loan, but I'm saying you'd have to release them. So,
I don't know. I think, I mean, if we want to try it, I think we just.
I think it's
We just do it
cheap.
with our lap.
In my opinion, I think it's cheap
Well, it's less.
for all it can do and the potential.
So the other thing, what I was going off of too is, I don't know how many of you went up to the pool. They don't do a very good at checking in. You just kind of come in and you write your name in. So how many kids are just coming in and not getting zero revenue off it either? So our families come in, and this is your ultimate check-in now. So you have to check in with a face recognition.
So is there hard stops that I assume they'll be in there, but like there's hard stops where a photo has to be in place? Because are we also talking then we need to provide a camera down there for them?
No, the family sets we don't do any of the setup. Like when
Right,
we do
are
the
we
membership, the
gonna
family
allow-
goes online, sets up, and then they upload their own photo.
Right, but we would need to put a hard stop in there. So if there's no photo, they can't pass go.
Yeah, 'cause we have the ultimate.
We
Well,
have
the
we have
ultimate
the build
approval or
capability.
denial of a membership. 'Cause it gets sent and then Seth can look and then approve. Or just,
What if they wanted to buy a membership down at the pool? Are we gonna change the rules on that?
yeah, they'll just have to go online and fill it out. So, and they can probably
You could probably do it right there on the tablet.
Is there internet at the pool?
Yep.
Oh.
Yeah, hardwire.
Yeah, because first week you get tons of parents coming up there with the check, ready to write for the passes.
Yeah, and that's what I'm
Instead
saying.
of
I mean,
going
just do it online, and then now with this whole deal with Crooks, that's why I said you might get people that, oh yeah, I'll just bypass and don't even come and use it.
Oh, yeah, that's happened.
So I think you've got a brighter horizon of collecting money.
I did that a couple of years.
Huh?
I did that a couple of years with Brady.
So
You want to hear my 2 cents? I think we should do it. I think it'll be a big old benefit for the pool, because we'll have a lot better way for tracking inventory and all that. And so,
yeah,
it's one of my big things. So,
I'd like to know how much they spent on concessions. Opposed to what we got in. You know what I mean?
well, yeah, actual
Yeah,
revenue.
what they actually sold and what we actually lost walking out the door.
That could still happen.
Oh, it's gonna happen.
Yeah.
It absolutely.
But you're gonna see it.
yeah,
But
you'll
now
have
we
it-
gotta
you-
track it.
You'll know for sure what's going on then,
Yeah.
where it's everything was by hand. It's just like,
Well, that's just like everything's paper.
yep, I know.
And how do you expect? My next thing is, how do you expect all them lifeguards and all the pool staff to say, an adult come up, no, I have a membership. Oh, hold on, let me look through, file through your paperwork and try and find your name. I mean, and then if it's not there, you get some parents, no, I have one. I mean, we've had that a couple times where it got bought up here, but
Yep.
and it got bought down there and nothing got transferred.
Right, where it was bought here and was not. Yeah, that happened at least 2 times that I know of.
The credit, buy things on credit, load credit, is there a way we can control that? I don't
Well,
know
we
if
can
she
just tell
talked about
lifeguard
that.
and pool staff if they don't have a balance and there's no charge, they can't charge on there. So they have to
And
have
if the parent wants to reload the charge account, they have to go online to do so.
Yep.
And they can't load it at the pool.
You can load it up. You just get on your phone. You literally
Right,
get it.
but we won't exchange cash for that, correct?
If they gave the pool manager $50 that day, say, put this on my
I'm
account,
sure
can we
the pool
do
manager
that?
can go on there. That's like a question I
And
could
add?
ask, that if someone, parent came down, wanted to give $50 in cash at that moment.
Right.
Can
Add
we
it
just,
onto their card.
can our pool staff just do it right there, or do they have to log into their account and do it?
I think we would have to put some guidelines around that, but. At the end of the night, what's the plan? Do we purchase a safe then for them to place the tablets in each night? What happens for moisture control? Yeah. Those are,
I'll leave
So are we looking at another
What time does the
expense?
pool normally close?
8 o'clock.
7,
Seven?
7,
So.
or is it 8?
No,
I thought it was 8.
It's
Is
8,
it
it's 8, 6 on the weekends.
You
6
guys,
on the
I
weekends,
may
you're
have
right.
got some typos in here, but I at least put the pool hours.
Did you?
I did, I thought I did. I was gonna say, I put the pool hours, I did something right.
Yeah, Friday, Monday through Friday, 1 to 8, and then 1 to 6 on Saturday and Sunday.
Like I said, we don't need to go buy fancy laptops, and you can go buy $200.
You can buy $200 tablets probably.
Yeah. And we don't need 10 of them, we just need one.
Well, that's why I was saying just use what we got now, which is because we've got that old, or the laptop that or that Chromebook that we were trying to do the live streams with, but it wasn't powerful enough to handle that. And then because Joe's leaves it here, so no offense for throwing you under the bus for that, but
I
it's,
still get the emails.
yep, yeah.
I'm
So-
just concerned about the moisture that's up there, that you gotta do the heat.
Well, I can talk with the IT and
Yeah.
see what they would recommend for how to
Well,
keep it
it's no
set.
different than our cabinet and our router and everything that's up there right now.
Routers and all kinds of stuff up there in that box.
Yeah, but the moisture doesn't get to that, does it? The humidity?
All vetted, that same
Yeah.
box.
Only nice thing about that, they have to do it on the east side, so there's no sun exposure on that
Right.
side, so it's not gonna be sitting in the sun.
Yeah, it shouldn't be out in the sun at all.
So as a council, I mean, do we feel like we have enough information here to make a decision tonight? Or what are we thinking? We've talked.
I guess you guys just give me your pros and cons on it. I mean, if you wanna go through it that way. I mean, the obvious con is the cost. I mean,
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a lot of money for 3 months.
For 3 months on something that doesn't make us money.
no,
Not yet.
not yet.
Not yet.
You don't know yet. I mean,
Yeah.
let's try it, you don't know.
You know, the biggest thing is we wanna fundraise for the pool too, so.
Yeah, but the nice thing is you got your tracking of passes, the accessibility of passes, the logging of inventory.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of pros other than, I think that would outweigh the cons.
Like I said, I looked at a couple other ones, and yeah, you can get a POS system without the membership tracking or anything like that, or, you can't stay in contact with your members. Or I found a pool, but it's bare bones. I mean, it's just, you come up and you log in and then that's it. Like, there's no contact, but then there's no POS system. So then you have to buy the POS system on top of that, so.
So this has like a credit card reader with it?
No.
Because POS is point
Point of sale.
Point of sale.
Card
So-
conversion, sorry.
So we're gonna have two systems down.
Well, no, we wouldn't have another system down there. You just have to probably get a card reader that can just plug into the side of it. Or manually put in, it was on that deal. I remember us talking about that. I can't remember how that went.
So we're gonna use this
That was,
tablet.
yeah, because that was the $250, you can do or we can go to the other one where they pay a percentage. It's kind of at the beginning of that video.
I know
There would be a credit card processing fee. If they can pay for passes, then it's gonna be a fee for
Yep.
them to process.
because I think it was,
Well, if you watch the video and you get to the end of the video, then you can run through all the tables and stuff. You can play with it all you want. And then we can come back in the next meeting and then you'll answer your own questions.
But the next meeting will be in June.
So we're gonna have to have a.
So
We're having
we've
one
got
later
to,
this week. We're having one later this week.
when?
the 11th.
Wednesday. Is it a Wednesday?
For what?
Thursday,
Thursday.
employee review.
I might change the time because that is music concert time.
Oh,
Push it out a couple weeks.
Yeah, do you want to plant corn? I don't care when, we just gotta set it up. It don't have to be the 11th, we just kind of.
Yeah, I won't make it on Wednesday. Thursday. I won't make it anyway. I worked 140 hours this last pay period, so
Why so short?
Yeah, right?
Are we trying to set a special meeting? I'm sorry, where are we?
No, we're not.
No, we're not.
Okay.
If we were going to do play review, then we could do it, but we just need to.
I
We
can
just want
play-
to do, but we'll do the play review one at a different time. Date or not, we'll come to that. Date here.
That's later.
That's later, yeah.
We'll talk about that later.
Well, we gotta decide that and we gotta get through this tonight so that can get
Yeah.
going. So we gotta, let's
Okay, get
Get it
going.
move.
rolling.
So are we tabling the membership software program
Well, if we table it, then it's not gonna happen.
Then it
It's
won't
not
happen.
this year,
unless we do a special meeting?
Unless we do a special. But we're doing our pool meeting, bus meeting with trucks the 21st, that's Sunday. So I would like to have this all set up if we are going to do this, that I can hand that information to them, families and trucks, and say, go to this website, log in and pay. So otherwise,
You'd have to have a special meeting next week then.
well, it takes 5 to 7 days for them to set it up. So,
Yeah, that's true.
so.
We're gonna need to purchase a tablet. And
No,
we're gonna have to
I don't think we
train
need
on
to
it.
push it. That
No,
will just, I
they're
think
gonna
just
use
run
a
that
very
phone.
old
with us.
laptop.
I think we just use what we got. And if we're gonna try it for 1 year,
Yeah, that's
see
what I
if it's
was
good,
used
just
to.
use what we have.
Yeah, we're literally the 8th, so it would have to be a special
So we
meeting
got the
this week.
Chromebook, Joe's. I never use my computer. We're good. We've got some.
Yeah, I hardly use mine once in a while. So it had to be a special meeting this week. And Thursday and Wednesday are out for me. So, and Friday, and Friday's off, so I'm pouring concrete on Friday afternoon.
I don't
Or
think we,
somebody just make a motion and see if it passes or fails.
Yeah. Yeah, someone can make a motion too.
Does anyone have concerns? Or pros?
Other than the cost, that's my biggest concern with
Yeah,
it.
that's a lot of money for 9 weeks.
Mhm.
My concern truly is at the end of the night, how is the laptop gonna be locked up? How do we secure the laptop so that we don't have lifeguards or staff down there sitting on the internet? I mean, phones are already an issue, especially when we're asking them to make sure that safety and first response is in priority.
Well, then maybe we should table it for this year and get all them questions answered for next year.
I don't know if I'll get that same deal next year. So,
I mean, we can try it, we can wait till next year and see what the deal is. There might be more companies that step up too. We have more time to do some research also.
As we lose more money at the pool because none of the stuff has ever been tracked or,
I've been looking for 2 months
Yeah.
now for a system.
I'll make a motion.
Good motion from Julie. Second,
I'll second.
second from Chaz. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign.
I'm saying no.
I'm a nay.
4-2.
motion passes.
Motion passes. Okay,
I think just from where I'm sitting and the fact that I still kind of have reserves, I think we talked about this before, Seth. Anytime you're asking us to approve dollars, we have to, I know there was a web video out there, but we have to have something in the packet, because right now, we just approved $1,000 with nothing in this packet. Like, that is so alarming to me. Like, terribly, terribly alarming to me. It has to be in there. We have to know this discussion could have been cut in half had we had a breakout of what company are we looking at. Here's the pros, here's the cons. Everything we're talking through right now could have been possibly streamlined had we had some information in this packet.
Yeah, but
I don't mean
his-
to be the thorn at the end of the table, but we have to do better on this.
In his defense though, Trevor did send it to everybody
Yeah.
and I did,
No, I understand
Yeah, I
that,
mean-
but that wasn't, we are asking to approve dollars here is what I'm saying is that when you look back on this packet, we're looking at this and saying we approved $1,000 and someone's going, well, what'd you approve it on? And there's nothing in here from an audit perspective. So I'm just saying, we just have to do better on this. This was something that was brought up before.
Who's the fourth yes?
Riley.
Yeah, that was us four.
Moving on, so. Cool. Family and individual season passes. Do we want to hold a meeting to adjust that change? And maybe help offset the cost? Or do we just want to leave it the same, 75? And 40 for individual?
What are all the other pools in the area doing?
So both, or not both, like Bell's is 100, but that includes swimming lessons. Which swimming lessons right now is $89,
Is that what it is? Oh, wow.
which
That's awesome.
how many families are you gonna get to just say, oh yeah, sign me up, and then don't use it, and then they're out. But they probably have their own, they're probably not going through MB, and they're probably bringing in somebody to actually paying somebody on that end.
Did you say Hartford was 100?
I think Hartford,
That was Dell's, you said.
I think Dell's, yeah, Dell's, but I think Hartford's at 100 too.
Hartford has a heated
And,
pool.
and then Coleman is about the same as us, I think.
I think we've got a lot of changes going on. My opinion is that we leave it
Okay.
this year,
Yeah, I agree.
then evaluate the, the Crooks program. We'll be reviewing that.
Okay.
And
Do the same. I'll move on. Rules, rules and the signs.
You want me to explain my madness?
Yep, you can.
Okay, so the first block is the current signs of the pool. So essentially, the current signs of the pool do not reflect what we have online. When we tell a parent we adhere to the school policies, we have two different versions out there. Secondly, I think that there is an opportunity. I did give a suggested or proposed what a new sign could look like. I did kind of condense some of the wording on what we had. I cleaned it up a little bit. And then I gave a proposed what we could have Sign Design create some new signs for us. This also included to shower before entering the pool. We had talked about that. Trying to do anything we possibly can to minimize anything additional in that pool to help with the filter system. I mean, I know there's a chance no one's gonna read it, but if it's on there. So that was my.
Just pretty much in standard with the other pools around there.
I looked heavily at some other municipalities, and a lot of them don't have their pool rules listed online. So maybe that's something we would want to reconsider too. Maybe we don't have pool rules, but I think in order to support what we're doing for Crooks, that we have them listed online.
I don't have a problem with that.
And then there's also a separate one for the baby pool.
One thing I would like to add on here, and I know it's becoming an issue more and more, is that if you're intoxicated, you will not be allowed in the pool.
Yeah, that was in there.
Is that in there? I missed it. I
Yeah,
was looking through.
I thought I left
I'm sure I read that in there.
I didn't see it.
Maybe that
it's on this one.
Oh, it's on
But,
that one.
yeah.
Okay. Because we do have some younger kids that come up and we tend to turn them away in the past.
That one website that I was talking about, that Pool Web, they already have a whole bunch of pre-made signs. You actually just go into your state, click your state, and they have them already listed out, the rules and regulations.
There we go.
I think we just go right through that way, and it's done. You don't have to have Sign Design make it. I mean, not trying to take Sign Design, I know they're busy as heck right now. I think the average
Oh,
sign,
there it is. Anyone under the influence.
I think the average sign right there is like right around $40 to $50, and it's a metal sign.
Are you saying you just upload what you want on the sign, or they're pre?
They're already pre-made and done. You can go and pick out which one. I mean, I looked through it and it's pretty much the exact same stuff that we're asking on here, and you can do the shower and no running and then diving board rolls and all that stuff, so.
There, we just saved $1,500 from sign design. That's only $900.
Is there one for a children's pool?
Yep.
Like
So
a
like
waiting
that
pool?
one that I sent you, that website, that's it?
Yep.
Yeah, go in there, you can click through all them. And, yeah, go to.
So we'd align to whatever the sign says?
Yep, so you just go and you type in South Dakota and get to do the rules for South Dakota. And then they
I
have a
remember
list of,
seeing that on there.
and then you click out, I mean, they have like, I don't know, like 20 different signs you can choose from. I actually think there's probably more than that.
Signs guaranteed to meet your code.
One thing I'd like to change is the no inflatables devices in the pool area.
Okay.
If we could allow inner tubes or the little floaty inner tubes. Well, they use the armbands, but they like to have the,
We gotta have a little bit of toys and.
right, the circle of the inflatable. You're not coming in with a great big island by no means.
So what do we set it at? Nothing over 36?
Yeah, if we just have a sample hanging up on the wall or whatever.
36.
That's a pretty good size tube, yeah.
I think
Yeah,
if we don't do anything over 36 inches.
right.
More than
No
what we-
Maui pads.
No, none of that. No big islands floating around.
think
There
I
are no
would-
big pink flamingos or
I think
anything
I
like
would talk
that.
to our insurance company
I was
before we
gonna
go do
say, I
that.
feel
Yeah.
like that's a lifeguard's nightmare.
Yeah. But they
There
can
is
moderate
nothing
it
on-
too.
I
If it
talked
gets
to
to be
the
out of
insurance
hand,
company. I
they can
did
get
talk
rid,
to
they
them
can
that
tell them
there's
to
nothing on
put them
that.
away.
Well, if we do these pre-made signs, I don't think they're gonna have anything on there about inflatables.
No, well, and I talked to our insurance on that. When we were talking about
Mhm.
lifeguards asked about the inflatables too, and they're like, no, there's nothing with inflatables. So you can have inflatables.
But if it's a busy day, they can just say, nope, today we can't have them. But if you've only got 10, 15 kids in the pool,
So have a sign that says inflatables up to lifeguard's discretion.
yeah.
But then now you got these kids bringing inflatables onto that bus.
Yeah.
And if the bus is already gonna be full,
I'm not
They can blow them up when they get to the pool.
I don't think we advertise it.
Yeah.
We
No,
just-
don't advertise it, but let them
If they bring
bring them.
a
Don't
floaty.
say that they can't have it.
So do we want to just go through that website and order them signs through that then? I think it'd just be a lot less busy work. And we can click exactly. You kind of reading through those, Julie?
Yes, they're pretty funny. Spitting, urinating, blowing your nose.
Oh, and all that happens.
It's all on there, on that one too. It's pretty.
Yeah.
No urinating.
Yeah.
It happens up there.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure.
I believe it.
Oh my God, yeah, you can't believe what goes on up there.
And then consumption of adult beverages or tobacco products is prohibited.
So why do you need two different sizes? Just because
The
or?
size of the pool, I
Did
guess.
you measure them down there?
I just did,
I would bet they're 40s.
So it says if you can occupy, I think it was the reason, the one for the 50 inch was if you could occupy greater than 10 people at one time in the pool area, then it was recommended for the 50. If the pool area could not occupy greater than 10 in the pool at one time, then the 40 was appropriate. I didn't know what we had down there though, so I put two different prices on it.
Aren't those long red things 40 inches deep? The lifeguard.
I think they're pretty cool.
What do you?
Yeah, I'm thinking they're pretty cool.
Standard 40.
They're both called standard.
Yeah,
That's
they're
the
both standard.
problem.
One's 50, one's 40. Yeah.
It literally, that's what I was looking at the Red Cross to
Yeah.
trying to determine, and they both said it was literally, it's depending on the
I
one.
would do the longer one.
The
That's
50?
the same with me,
I'm out
especially
there
with the
floating
dad.
upside down. I want a
I
little
want
more
a little bit.
flotation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Again, we can go wherever you want. This is just thoughts. This is the stuff that we kind of put together that when we did the walkthrough. I'd recommend at least 3 of them, 2 for the guards on stand, and then we have one that needs to be. I mean, I think we could even stand to have 4.
Oh,
but
I don't think you will use 4.
We'll have 3.
You'll need 3 only during country days. That's the only time we ever have 3 guards on duty.
Two-man Monty left already. 'Cause
Even with
Well,
adding
Pete knows
50
that. We already
people.
went through that.
Yeah.
You're still
Okay.
gonna have.
So-
How are you gonna know if you're gonna have more than?
Because that's part of this
I
program.
know, but how do you know
We looked at all
to
that
schedule
stuff
for?
today. I think
Right,
the,
well, that's,
the
they're
only thing
gonna have
that
to figure it out.
needs to be picked up for the backboard is that the head chocks that go on the front of it.
But haven't the rules changed on them backboards? Once you put a person on that backboard, it takes the doctor at the ER to remove them from that backboard. That's what I was told today when I recertified my first aid class today at
We
work.
use
That's
them
exactly what
all
they
the
told me.
time. So we're actually going on the EMS side of it, they're going away from backboard, because when you put a
Right.
patient on a hard board and leave them on it, it actually hurts them.
Yes, yeah.
So we have certain protocols, we won't use a backboard
Mm-hmm.
unless you have, some kind of pain along your spinal column, otherwise we won't put them on a
Well,
backboard.
why don't we just remove the backboard?
Well,
But
it's,
they
it's
do it-
actually a maneuver to,
Yeah.
if you have Julie and she's trying to get him out of the pool,
Right.
it's actually a maneuver for lifeguards in order to help lift. Cause if it's Julie and I, there's no, sorry, Matt, we're not
They,
lifting
they
you out of the
need one
pool.
at the pool.
It's a lever,
for
it's a
getting someone out
leverage,
of the water.
yeah.
I
My
like
concern
that.
with the one that was down there is the buckles and everything were corroded, and when I was trying to buckle it, they weren't staying buckled.
But you're getting the straps for them, okay?
Yeah, by strap.
You just buy straps.
That's fine, like I said, but there is no head,
No, it should have the head.
it should have the
or
head
whatever
thing,
on
and that
it.
wasn't anywhere to be
Okay.
found down there.
Well, let's
It used to be there.
Yeah, I don't know where.
Yeah, I
it
don't
is.
know where it went. It used to be on that top shelf.
Yeah.
You buy one of them.
And we'll do new straps on that.
Straps and head thing.
So then we'll order 3 of the 50 inchers of the
Yeah.
rescue tubes. We can order another on that site too. There's a first aid kit that we can mount on the wall. I think we can look at that. Pete and I went through a lot of that stuff. I'm taking Pete's recommendation on a lot of this stuff for improving the EMT. A lot of that stuff is still, we found like 3 today. First aid kits that were still good. So
Really, for a lifeguard, all you really need is Band-Aids and gauze to stop the bleeding. Other than that, there's really nothing else you can do.
Gloves.
Yeah.
Your safety equipment, and then to get them to stop bleeding.
So I think we can probably.
Even like CPR, there's a couple pocket masks down there, leave them down there, but they don't even recommend, if you guys do CPR on someone, they just want you to do compression. That's what's gonna save the person, not breathing in his nose, because what's happening is everybody's so worried about making sure they get a good breath, but nobody's doing this and the blood's not moving around, so you're killing your patient. Where
So
when you're doing chest compressions, you're actually moving air in and out of your lungs just from the difference in
Pressure.
So where did we land? Are we purchasing a new backboard or no?
No, we'll just do a new head chuck and then new straps.
Okay.
And then
They're guard bags. I didn't see any guard bags down there.
They've never used a guard bag.
I kind of looked into, I don't know if we really need it. I think that's more for like Wild Water West and stuff like that, when they're walking around and their
They're a
emergency.
long ways away from
Long
the
ways
first
away.
aid kit.
So, if we want to get a couple, we can. I don't know if we necessarily need them.
I don't think they would wear them. To be honest, I don't think they would either.
We can order whistles. We can get some more new whistles down there.
What are the whistles for?
The lifeguards just to.
Hey, Matt, quit running.
Yeah, quit spitting on the sidewalk. Well, you're needing the pool.
And then to call.
It'd have to
We have
some
color
pretty
changing.
dark paint.
We have color changing chlorine.
I got a 3-year-old
Thank you,
kid that's
grown-ups.
15, he stands in the corner. What's
You probably don't even get in the pool.
Yeah, no, we're not getting new cover for a while.
So I'll order one new first aid kit that gets mounted on the wall. And then, like I said, we found those 3 today when we were digging through all that stuff that were still good. So we'll keep those in there. Those are individual packs.
I think the only thing we're probably lacking is some gauze and some.
Yeah, then we can utilize that. So
What do we need? A dozen whistles? 10 whistles? What, I mean,
Probably a dozen, whatever they come in a packet. Yeah.
So we'll get those. Okay. All right. Move on. And then the transportation bus, we are meeting the 21st in Crooks, whoever would like to attend. Community center is more than welcome. That's when we're gonna talk to the parents and do the sign up date.
You got a time on that?
3 to 5 is when the hall is gonna be at.
3 to 5 p.m.
Yep, and Butch Osby, text me, and
3 to 5 Saturday, you said?
21st.
21st is Sunday.
Can't guarantee he'll be there.
That's fine. Not everybody has to be there either, so I'm just extending the welcome.
I might still be.
It'll just be a town hall to talk about the partnership of the shuttle.
Butch Osby just texted me. They're good to go with the brochure. Good to go with the bus. So
We'll both spell yours.
you're all still in yours.
I'm. You guys have no idea the amount of pain it went through. Trevor's like, "Did you send it?" And I was like, "Yeah, I sent it last night." And he's like, "No, you didn't." It's like, "No, I did." I went in and I do everything in OneNote. Well, it didn't save in my OneNote, so I'm like literally trying to recreate this to resend it because it got quarantined. So, needless to say, it was.
I finished it on Sunday night.
Yep.
I realized half of
It was like last minute. Trevor and Riley like
sitting there
putting it together.
I realized half of that sentence, you're also 8 months pregnant. My wife hates me right now as well.
Yeah.
That's why you're here.
No, I didn't say that. Don't make me laugh.
We'll finish this up so everybody can get going. Hotel stay. I'll let you go
Okay.
on that stuff.
So, for that South Dakota Municipal League annual conference, the hotel stay, we don't have enough budgeted for it for council for everybody to go. Oh, right. I've worked with them and the total cost for having all the rooms is $1,422. We've got total budgeted with, this is using what's left over in my budget for travel as well as council's, is $981.84. So we're $440.16 over budget. If
Take me off.
I'll be in the field.
I'll be in the field too.
what are the
You
dates
want
again?
that?
October 3rd through October 6th.
Diane, are you still going to
The who I had who was going, who's interested was Chaz, Julie, Matt, myself, Trevor, and Jarrett. Jarrett's just jumped off of it. So,
Should be good then.
nope, we need one more.
I can get my own room too. I don't have. a
I
problem.
can not go. It doesn't matter to me.
Yeah, same here. I mean,
I'll give you $50. You all can go.
No, I'm just saying I can get. I'll buy my own room. I don't
Really?
care.
Okay. Yeah,
I'll
if,
just
if
buy
you
my
buy
own
your,
room.
yeah, then we're fine then. And if you,
give him a
Roll
cat?
away.
nope, you,
Cat and Chaz's
okay,
room.
if you do that, then
what's wrong with that? We can bunk together.
Julie gets her own room. later.
Well,
She's gonna need a break from all y'all.
Good then.
then if you pay for your own and Jarrett doesn't go.
Yeah.
Then we make it work. Then we'll be
Sorry, Joe.
$33.84 above budget then.
There we go.
Buy yourself a pot.
Yep.
All right. That's all I got for the meeting tonight. Anybody else got anything?
Do we know the contact numbers and stuff, or we can finish that up
Yeah, I'm
whenever?
gonna finish that.
Okay.
Yep.
Julie, are you just poking? I got cleanup to do, I know.
No, we didn't. I didn't
No,
put
no,
anything
no,
on
I
there.
just wanted to know if we knew what the.
I just wanted to
number
get it
was.
be approved and then
Yeah.
I'll talk to Sherry from
Yeah.
the bus garage and get the actual who they want the contact info on that end on there. So
Yeah, if you guys read through it, text the group and let me know if you think something else needs to be added too.
Yeah, let's do it. Monty also had very exquisite notes on that. I didn't know who made it though when I was like behind.
Did Monty leave his for me?
I thought he handed it to you.
No, I just got Kathleen's.
Oh, I'm sure I'll have an hour conversation.
Yeah. I love how mine's like, please proofread this, and it's like, I did that.
Now you know what it feels.
I didn't do any of that. I just did the context. Trevor did the making it pretty. Yep, Trevor made it pretty.
I've got one thing. I just want everybody to know, if you haven't heard already, I'm stepping down. This is my last meeting. There's been one person interested. Trevor's aware of who it is.
So we'll bring that to, we'll have to have it on the, we'll bring it to the next council meeting. Still gonna bug Diane on questions all
Absolutely,
the
you
time.
can. You can.
And info on the pool all the time.
Yeah, no, that's absolutely fine.
Thank you for your years of service.
Yeah, no worries. Yeah.
How many years did you have to take?
I don't even know. To be honest with you, I don't even know when I joined. It's been at least 6 years.
I've been here, well, it's been longer than that, hasn't it?
Maybe. I don't know.
I've been here 11 years, and weren't you here when I got hired?
Yeah.
I've been working here since 2010. November.
You haven't been on council that long though.
It's been a long time.
Not council, no, but.
No, she came on the council after
Part
me
of the
was
pool
down
in
at the
the
pool.
city.
Yeah, down at the pool.
Yeah. I know it's at least 3 terms, so 6
Who did
years.
you take over for, remember?
At the pool,
No, on the council.
Rick, when he became mayor, I filled his spot. So whenever he,
Then Chas came the following year.
yeah. So I don't know.
I think she filled an open spot, didn't you? Yeah.
The
it was-
Rick's.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, the vacant spot, yeah.
Yeah, because he got the mayor spot.
Will you come in the next council for old business and then,
Then I'll be done.
okay.
Okay.
Well, way to close off the meeting.
Yeah.
I know.
And on that note,
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
there you go.
Second.
Yeah.
All those in favor, say aye.
Oh.
Thank you, guys. You can tell summer's here because the meeting got long. Go through it all.
Well, it's normally 8:30, but summertime it's a little later.
I'll get in contact.
Ma'am, sir,